Liverpool goal service for the first of 4 commentaries on 5 Live, and Fulham get us underway. Although in his programme notes, Arne Slot says Fulham are a side who've gone under the radar. He's more than aware that they can cause Liverpool problems, and certainly when we saw them earlier in the season at Manchester City, they did that at the Etihad. That's where we'll be tomorrow for the Manchester derby to finish off our latest round of Premier League commentaries, the home of Premier League football on BBC Radio 5 Live, as Fulham go all the way back to Leno, and it's chipped forward by Tete, but straight away Robinson with interception, and then stopped by Diop on the edge of the area, but someone was in an offside position, although Robinson has stayed down inside the Fulham penalty area, but it looked like they were wanting to try and get off to a fast start, bearing in mind that despite the win in Spain in midweek, Arne Slot was quite critical of his team.
Yeah, he was, albeit it's not a bad thing winning when you're not at your best, and Liverpool weren't, and top of the Champions League. We saw it as a really strong challenge from Diop, actually. Tete tried to clip a ball forward into Pereira. Robertson won the ball, and then Diop eventually cleared the ball. Little follow through on Robertson, but of course the offside was given. But Robertson hasn't moved, he's still down. It looks to be a really sore one for him, and we're at a time where most squads in the Premier League are pretty stretched at this moment in time. Arne Slot will be thinking about, if things aren't right with Robertson, he'll have to make a change.
Well, it would be a setback so early on for the Liverpool manager. You talk about players coming back. Chiesa and Diogo Jota are on the bench for Liverpool. Jota has missed the last 11 games, but looking at their defensive replacements, they only really have Gerald Quansah on the bench. So Robertson getting tended to in the penalty area away towards our left as we sit high at the back of the main stand here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Fulham 0. Let's get an update from Arsenal. John Southall.
Well, it's Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Arsenal dominating the ball in these opening minutes, and I think that'll be the pattern for the game. Unbeaten here so far this season in the league. 1-5 drawn, 2 lost, none. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
And with a stoppage in play here, we can also go to St James's Park. Mas Faruqi.
Where there's a decent set-piece opportunity for Leicester, a couple of yards outside the Newcastle area, deep on the left. Mavadidi brought down. Newcastle trying to press, very full of energy in the early stages, and test that Leicester back four as this free kick is swung into the area and partially cleared up by Newcastle, who go off on the counter. So still 0-0 here between Newcastle and Leicester.
Rotherham United lead Northampton Town by 1-0. Robinson is on his feet, looks set to continue. How's it started at Molineux? Pat Murphy.
Raucously 0-0, but a tremendous reception and delivery of hi-ho silver lining by the Wolves faithful. They're behind the players, that is for sure. And an early injury to Lamina, who's lost the captaincy, got a bit of a clog from Chaplin, but he's recovered. Wolves 0, Ipswich 0.
Robinson still waiting to come back onto the field of play. Fulham did launch the ball out towards Anthony Robinson, who began, of course, at Everton. It's his ball into the penalty area, looking for a Liverpool old boy in Harry Wilson, but it was caught by Alisson. Anthony Robinson, who actually in recent weeks has been linked with Liverpool, a potential return to Merseyside for the Liverpoolian.
Yeah, and do you know what? I get that, Ian. He has had a brilliant season for Fulham. Nice to maraud up that left-hand side. More overlaps. I know you like your stats than any other player this season in the Premier League, Ian.
That's quite correct, Christopher. Motherwell are leading Dundee United by 1-0 in the Scottish Premiership. The Scottish League Cup final tomorrow is a 3:30 kick-off at Hampden. Celtic Rangers, you can listen to that on Radio Scotland through the BBC Sounds app. 0-0 in the Premier League here at Anfield. Fulham across the back, and Cuenca, who they signed from Villarreal in the summer on a 4-year deal, making his first start in the Premier League. Calvin Bassey, formerly of Rangers, of course, big miss through suspension.
Absolutely. It's a long ball from Fulham. Robertson tested. Harry Wilson gets back and nods the ball back to Alisson. Yeah, I think Cuenca and Diop, that their understanding has to be there from the off against a team like Liverpool.
That's the voice of Chris Sutton. If you've just joined us on the BBC World Service, or wherever you are in the world, 5 minutes in here at Anfield. Pleasure to have your company as always. Liverpool 0, Fulham 0. with our 5 Live commentary, as on this grey afternoon the ball is played up towards Jones over the halfway line. Liverpool all in red, playing from right to left as we look, so they're attacking the Anfield Road end. That two-tiered stand, very impressive, as here is Van Dijk. Robertson showing no ill effects of the early injury that he picked up, and a left-footed ball back to Alisson, who was quite outstanding in Girona in midweek in the Champions League. They've gone nearly 9 hours without conceding a goal, have either Alisson or Kelleher in the Champions League, as the ball is played in towards Diaz, and he's fouled. No, coming back from an offside position was the referee's whistle. Mind you, they're not doing too bad in terms of keeping out the goals at Anfield. Since Karaoglu scored the second goal for Brighton and Hove Albion, 436 minutes at the start of play, so 7 hours and 16 minutes in all competitions since they last conceded a goal at Anfield.
Yeah, just spoke about the attacking players that Liverpool have, but defence has been key this season.
Ball from Alexander-Arnold, spreads it from right to left with a lovely crossfield pass. Gakpo on the left, diagonal ball into the penalty area, and the acrobatic effort from Diaz just off target. That would have been spectacular. Birmingham City leading Bristol Rovers by 1-0. Hibs bottom of the table in the Scottish Premiership have fallen behind at Easter Road. Hibs 0, Ross County 1, and there's been a goal in the Championship at Swansea. Molly Stevens.
Swansea 1, Sunderland 0, a flying start from Swansea City. Inside 5 minutes, Jan Bitbotnik into the bottom corner of the net. 1-0 Swansea.
We're going to go racing on 5 Live. It's the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle at Cheltenham with Darren Owen.
And Skyjack Hijack, the favourite, has made every yard of the running so far. This is a horse who's won 6 times already this season and has just jumped the second last hurdle with a lead of about a length over French Raider Jet Blue. They're coming now towards the final bend. It's a long run to the final hurdle. Still got about 3 furlongs to go. A length and a half behind, and the front pair is Yellow Car. And these are followed by Western Knight, who's just poised behind them now for Brendan Powell. They're on this long march down towards the last hurdle, and the French Raider Jet Blue has now taken over, goes a couple of lengths clear from Western Knight's second. Skyjack Hijack under pressure, looking beaten. Yellow Car is next, then comes Clondor General heading down towards the final hurdle, and over the last it is Jet Blue over the last hurdle. A furlong left to go, climbing the hill, and it is Jet Blue, trained in France by David Cotin, partnered by British jockey James Reeve, who's based in France. He's been champion jockey in France, and he's going to strike here aboard Jet Blue. Jet Blue will take this Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle in good style. Western Knight is second, third Yellow Car, fourth Clondor General, and a disappointing run. The winning run comes to an end for the favourite Skyjack Hijack, who has finished a well-beaten 5th. Jet Blue has won the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle here for France.
Thank you, Darren. Wilson, meanwhile, 0-0, running forward, right-hand side of the penalty area, plays a ball in towards Pereira, quickly off his goal line was Alisson with a smothering save. But whilst we were away at the racing and Jet Blue winning that race at Cheltenham, Wilson with a sloppy back pass. It was Diop that had to come to his rescue.
Yeah, we saw the good and the bad of Wilson there. Wilson back towards his own goal, played a short back pass. Curtis Jones got beyond Diop. Diop got back to make the challenge. Came off Curtis Jones and went behind, but then immediately one long ball up the pitch. Jimenez with the flick on, and Wilson, clever movement, cross came in, and Alison Becker had to be alert as we see the first yellow card there.
Well, actually it's the third, because Diop was shown a yellow card for a foul. I can only imagine that was for the one on Robertson, and then Diaz for reckless play. So I can only imagine
that would have been the overhead
kick.
That's blimey. I mean,
and now we've had Pereira.
Yeah, if you're going to give yellow cards for the Diaz overhead kick and the Diop challenge, I know it wouldn't have looked great, but Diop got to the ball first, and sometimes there are just accidents which happen within the game. I think it was one of those. He did catch Andy Robertson, who of course received lengthy treatment, but he's got to go for the ball. And he did do.
So Tony Harrington, the referee, has shown 3 yellows inside 10 minutes as Dundee United have equalised at Fir Park. Motherwell 1, Dundee United 1. Liverpool are attacking. Salah, early ball in from the right-hand side. Up in the air it goes from Diop. Let's go to Arsenal. John Southall.
Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Great chance for Everton. Doucouré on the left of the area. Just opened up from great challenge by Gabriel, sliding in with a block. Erdegaard's put one over from 14 yards. And Pickford's punched away the first Arsenal corner. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Thank you, John. Throw to Fulham. That Robinson on that far side in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand waits to take it. Iwobi, a ex-Everton player. A number of players with Merseyside links. You think of Iwobi, Wilson, an ex-Liverpool player, and Anthony Robinson, a Liverpudlian. As here is Wilson, who looks up and switches play out towards Iwobi. Robinson is going to go on the overlap on that far side, the left, and the ball reaches in from Iwobi. Robinson with a cross. It's a good inviting ball in, and Fulham have scored. Taken extremely well on the stretch by Pereira. He really had to reach for that, but right-footed, and Fulham take the lead. 11 minutes at Anfield, 1-0 to Fulham. Excellent goal.
And there's that Robinson overlap. But he gets in a great crossing position, but he finds Pereira, and I tell you what, the finish from Pereira is absolutely sensational. It really is. First of all, the ball from Diop into Wilson, switched out left, and then Iwobi comes inside. Robinson is released, one touch, cross in, and Pereira stretching with his right boot hooks it goalwards. I wonder, Ian, whether it takes a slight deflection. It does do. I think it's off Andy Robertson and goes into the roof of the net. Alisson, no chance. Fulham take the lead as they did do last season here.
And it was a belter, as Chris has already referenced, when they met last December. Liverpool with 2 late goals, actually beating Fulham by 4 goals to 3. A goal at Middlesbrough, Chris Coles.
A goal for Middlesbrough, leading Millwall by a goal to 0. Really classily taken by Emmanuel Latte-Lath. Give and go with Finizaz. Latte-Lath under the goalkeeper. Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0.
And certainly Arne Slot, in his programme notes, that warning has gone unheeded so far then with Fulham. He was more than aware of the dangers of this Fulham side as Van Dijk hits a searching diagonal ball out towards Salah on that far side, the right. At McDermott Park, St Johnstone 0, St Mirren 1 is the latest in the Scottish Premiership. Here is Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool then, the league leaders are behind. Robertson, Chris Sutton quite correct, did actually take a little deflection off the Scottish international. Gakpo on the left, back to Robertson. Plays it out to Gakpo level with the penalty area. Diaz is in close proximity. Blocked by Tete, leans into Gakpo, a little bit off balance. Wilson will help him out. Gets away from Gakpo, stopped by Robertson. Fulham throw midway through their own half as they lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, and Pereira getting the nod for the first time in a number of games. I think he hinted to the Brazilian media that he wanted to go to Marseille in the summer. Marco Silva unhappy about that, left him out for a few games, but really brilliant finish, wasn't it? I know there was a deflection from Robertson, but for him to even reach the ball, acrobatic as you like, and Fulham in front.
Only the 8th Premier League goal that Fulham have scored at Anfield. 3 of them in their last visit, and then 1 early on here as Exeter City lead Barnsley by a goal to 0 in League One. Liverpool get a free kick, but will nip to Newcastle. Maz Faruqi.
Great chance for Gordon on the left, made the run into the area, couldn't be stopped. Hermanson tipping his strike clear for a corner, which Bird just headed off target, but it is still 0-0.
5 Live, the World Service and the BBC Sounds app at Anfield, where Liverpool are trailing. Salah couldn't keep the ball in play, just went away from him as it was lifted over the top, just ran away off the top of his left foot, and out it went for a goal kick. Well, I tell you what, that scoreline, Chris, that will ensure that you're awake for the first half, unlike when you were at the Panto recently. You nodded off.
Hell, not yet. Norwich Panto, Aladdin. No, I love the Panto, but I often do that at my age, and just last couple of years I've done the same. Nothing against the Panto, it's very good.
Arne Slot will be hoping that there is somebody can be rubbing their little lamp,
yeah,
to make sure that somebody can find a genie or two here at Anfield to come from behind, as Fulham are ahead. Far side, the left. No other goals elsewhere around the country. Berger goes back, and then Cuenca all the way to Bernd Leno. And also that goal for Fulham, they maintain and extend their club record of scoring in 15 successive games since when they drew a blank on the opening day at Manchester United. Here is Berger, short ball touched on by Lukic, hit long downfield by Robinson. Raul Jimenez will give chase even, and then Alisson comes out of his penalty area towards Alexander-Arnold. Salah's coming back from offside, he can't chase that.
No, absolutely wasn't quite on. I'll tell you what, we spoke about Cuenca, and you said his Premier League debut, but he's had a decent start to the game.
Liverpool, of course, are the league leaders. In the basement battle, Pat Murphy's seen a goal.
Ipswich have scored, and Conor Chaplin is taking all the plaudits, but the hard work was done by Delap, shrugging off defenders. First shot from Chaplin was kicked off the line, but then following up, it was deflected in off a Wolves defender. I think it may well have been Totti. We'll clear that afterwards, but fundamentally, Wolves 0, Ipswich 1.
And the Wycombe Wanderers, the League One leaders, are ahead at Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury Town 0, Wycombe 1. Huddersfield 0, Lincoln 1 is the latest scoreline. Fulham could be in here again. The flag's up. The little chipped effort by Jimenez is going to be hooked away by Van Dijk.
Robertson's in trouble here. Wilson got the other side of him, and I wonder whether this is... Yeah, he's gone. Red card.
Andrew Robertson has been dismissed, and Liverpool are a goal down, and they're a man down, as Tony Harrington shows the Scottish international the red card.
Well, it's denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Wilson gets the other side of Robertson. He was onside. Robertson takes him down. I think the referee allowed Jimenez to finish, but it's just one big switch of play. Sander Berger. I wonder whether Wilson is tight, whether he's offside or not. Robertson takes a really poor touch, left-footed, and Wilson gets the other side, pinches the ball, gets to the ball first, and feeds the ball into Jimenez, but he's brought down in the process.
Well, Stuart Atwell is the VAR. He'll be having a look at that.
Well, they'll be checking the offside first and foremost.
Yes, they will. The thing is that Wilson's run is towards goal. If he's running away from goal, that's a yellow card. But he's making a diagonal run towards goal, and as you say, there's a question mark. There's no covering defender.
I also think it was a straight red.
Yes.
Yeah.
Denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. We're waiting for VAR to check this. Meanwhile, let's get details of that goal at Shrewsbury. Niall McCorn.
Shrewsbury 0, Wycombe 1 in this top v bottom clash in League One. Wycombe's first attack of the game, headed home at the back post by Bez Lubala. Shrewsbury looks shaky at the back. Gareth Ainsworth shaking his head against his old club. Shrewsbury 0, Wycombe 1.
Confirmation it will be for the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity as Oxford United lead Sheffield Wednesday by 1-0 in the Championship, and Stoke City are leading Cardiff City by 1-0 also in the Championship. This is a lengthy delay. News of another goal at Swansea. Molly Stevens.
Swansea City 2, Sunderland 0. Liam Cullen, their top scorer, scores another for the Swans off his right foot from a free kick, ricochets off the top of the bar. Swansea in dreamland. Swansea 2, Sunderland 0.
One can only imagine is that they're looking for the offside first of all.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, because why would this take so long? It looked really tight. I think it was whether Van Dijk in the centre was possibly playing Andy Robertson.
But everybody's just gathered around the referee.
There we go. Sorry, Wilson onside. You can see Van Dijk is a little bit deeper than the rest, but we can't actually see in the picture we've got Wilson in the picture. So Robertson is higher than Van Dijk in the centre. Obviously meticulous with the line drawing. From the angle we're looking at, Ian, it does look like he's onside.
Well, this has been at least 3 minutes, this delay. The boos and the whistles from the home crowd, still waiting for the final verdict. Goal at Sheffield United, John Bennett.
And their great form set to continue. Sheffield United 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. It's Gus Harmer with the goal, headed away from a corner. He volleyed it into the turf,
and into the goal. Sheffield United 1, Plymouth Argyle 0.
That would take them back top. Leeds United earlier went top after that late equaliser with a 1-1 draw at Preston. Robertson has been dismissed after a delay of around 4 minutes. That denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Stuart Atwell, the VAR at Stockley Park, they've reached a conclusion. Robertson has been sent off, and Liverpool are down to 10 men, and Fulham, leading by a goal to nil, now have a free kick. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, what an absolute stinking afternoon for Andy Robertson. Had that collision early on and then deflected the Pereira effort, which went in and then sent off. Poor touch, had to go. They were waiting for the whether Wilson was onside or offside. I think it's the right call. And here's another chance for Fulham. I was going to, before the game, question whether Wilson was the right pick today. Traore on the bench today, but what an opening he's had. And this free kick 25 yards out suits a lefty, doesn't it? Right hand side of the box.
Robertson will miss the League Cup tie at Southampton in midweek. A game you can hear on Sports Extra, although they'd have probably made a number of changes anyway for that quarter-final tie. Free kick for Fulham. Wilson to take it. Oh, that was close. He hit it left-footed. He hit it with venom. And it whistled over the crossbar for a goal kick. But listen to how the Kop responds to that. They know that Liverpool now, especially down to 10 men, are in for a fight.
Oh, he gets so much pace on this effort. And it's what, half a yard over the bar, tries to beat Allison on his side, and Allison flung himself at the ball but just over the bar. What a start for Fulham.
Peterborough United 1, Crawley Town 0 is the latest score in League One. They don't have to be the 12th man now, the Liverpool crowd, they have to be the 11th man, as Wilson is forward on this right hand side, plays it in field. This is the goal scorer, Pereira, and it takes a deflection. Tipping effort behind for a corner. Goal at Wrexham, Shojo Saka.
Wrexham 0, Cambridge United 1. A lovely run down the left by Shane Lavery, crossed left-footed, and there was Elias Kachunga to slot it home. Wrexham 0, Cambridge 1.
That is a potential coupon buster. Phil Parkinson's side unbeaten at home, second in the table, level on points with Wycombe, but we know that Wycombe already are leading at Shrewsbury by a goal to nil. Fulham are leading 1-0 here at Anfield. 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds. We're midway through the first half, but I would say that there's got to be at least another 4 or 5 minutes of added on time. Corner's taken short by Pereira. To Wilson as they combine on this near side, the right. Pereira's right-footed ball, blocked by Alexander Arnold. Played forward by Robinson, he's overheaded over the head of Wilson, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and just want to see how Liverpool are shaping up here again. For a moment after the Robertson sending off, it looked like Gomez has come over to left back. He's moved more centrally again, Gomez has.
We'll get an update from Maz Faruqi at St James's Park.
Another chance for Byrne, another header he puts wide. Chances for Murphy and Joel Linton as well. Newcastle with lots of pressure in and around the Leicester goal, but it is still Newcastle 0, Leicester 0.
Andy Robertson sent off for what is the third red card of his career. BBC Radio 5 Live.
Looks like Gravenberch has gone back into a third centre-back role, so with Gomez out on that right-hand side. A little bit of a lopsided back three. Even Liverpool in possession. So no recognised left-back, of course. Gakpo will have to play as a left wing-back.
Stevenage leading Stockport County by a goal to nil in League One. 5 Live. 23.5 minutes played. Van Dijk strokes it forward. Jones to Gravenberch. Gomez out on that right-hand side now, as Chris Sutton has identified with the three at the back. Alexander Arnold and Gakpo as the wing-backs is how Arne Slot has changed things now with that sending off. Van Dijk chips the ball out towards Gakpo. Luis Diaz and Mo Salah are the ones who've gone central. Gakpo runs in field. Fulham have got every white shirt back behind the ball, as here is Luis Diaz dancing down the touchline on this near side, the left. Leaves it then for Szoboszlai, almost at a walking pace, just trying to get an element of control back in the game, as the Liverpool supporters are certainly trying to play their part as well. But Gakpo's been caught in possession by Wilson. They only had it momentarily. Ball floated over the top. Gakpo makes the run, tries to get past his man Berger, but his little touch of his right foot goes out of play for a goal kick. Wolves Ipswich, Pat Murphy.
1-0 to Ipswich, credited to Doherty, own goal, but Wolves should be level. Lemina did ever so well to set it up on a plate for Bellegarde, 10 yards out, at an angle, skied over the bar. He had to be on target. Wolves 0, Ipswich 1.
Carlisle United 0, Chesterfield 1 is a latest score in League 2. Fulham with Diop at the back, his 150th appearance in the Premier League. Alongside him, Cuenca's first start, who scuffed the ball into the direction of Robinson. Now it's picked up by Lukic, who can drive forward for Fulham over the halfway line. Iwobi plays it forward. Jimenez has made the run in behind, enters the penalty area. Pereira is there, and it was blocked by Van Dijk behind for a corner kick. Another promising move by Fulham.
Yes, it was. Good run from Jimenez in behind. I just wonder whether he could have played that cross a little bit earlier, allowed Van Dijk to make the block, because Pereira was free in the middle. 7-8 yards out, Fulham would have been 2 up. Crucial block from Van Dijk.
Huddersfield Town 0, Lincoln City 2, Reading 0, Blackpool 1. Bradford City leads Swindon by a goal to 0 at Valley Parade. You're up to date with the goals as they go in, as Fulham have a corner kick far side the left in front of the Kop. They're playing from left to right, leading 1-0. It's an in-swinger. Alisson under pressure claims it with both hands and then throws it out towards Luis Diaz. He has Szoboszlai on the inside, tries to get the better of Robinson, who'd come across. The Liverpool bench are putting pressure on Tony Harrington, asking for a yellow card, and they get it.
You're right, every challenge from a Fulham player now. This stadium is going to erupt. Clever from Diaz, lets the ball run across his body, pushes it past Robinson. Robinson puts the burners on but brings Diaz down. Now Robinson under a little bit of pressure, albeit Salah's playing in a more central role, which I think you pointed out, Ian. Now Liverpool down to 10.
Just going to say though, that's the third Fulham player to be booked already. The way that Tony Harrington is brandishing these cards, you wouldn't at all be surprised to see another red follow. Diagonal ball looking towards Diaz. Diaz in the penalty area. They're appealing for handball. Referee Tony Harrington agrees. But there's a little bit of edge creeping into this of the atmosphere now at Anfield. Stockport County have equalised at Broadhall Way. Stevenage 1, Stockport County 1 is the latest in League 1.
Yeah, bit of needle. Yeah, Diaz nearly caught that as he peeled in between Tete and Diop. Free kick awarded for Fulham.
What's the latest at Arsenal, John Southall?
Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Good timing though, Ian, because Arsenal have a corner on the right hand side. Saka's going to take it, 4th of the game so far. Everton have dealt with them well so far. Here it comes to the back post. Pickford does well, just punches it behind. Could be a chance on the edge of the area. Cleared away. Arsenal still have it. The cross will come over. Pickford comes out and gathers it. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Wimbledon lead Doncaster Rovers by a goal to 0. Doncaster were third in League 2 and unbeaten in 9, have fallen behind there as Liverpool's forward ball stopped by a sliding Wilson. Quickly back to his feet, then had to go to ground again to try and get possession back for Fulham, but they couldn't retain it. So Liverpool, the crowd are certainly trying to play their part. They've been excellent the way that Robertson, after his dismissal, as we approach the half hour, Luis Diaz drops off, spreads it out towards Alexander-Arnold, unmarked right hand side, early ball in, takes a deflection, Tete heads it away. Wilson running back towards the edge of his own penalty area, and another goal at Wrexham for Shojo Saka.
Wrexham 1, Cambridge 1. Wrexham are having to work hard for this. Cross from the right, hung in, up in the air. James McLean at the back post. Wrexham 1, Cambridge 1.
Sheffield Wednesday have equalised at Oxford United. Oxford United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. That's in the Championship. So Arsenal 0, Everton 0, Newcastle 0, Leicester City 0, Wolves 0, Ipswich Town 1. Forest Aston Villa to come after Sports Report, with our next commentary at 5:30. As here is Gomez, short ball to Jones. Liverpool down to 10 men and trailing. Gakpo very confined. Walsall are leading Barrow by a goal to 0, and another goal at Swansea for Molly Stevens.
And Sunderland have one back. A Dan Ballard header from Trey Hume's free kick. Sunderland are back in this one. Swansea 2, Sunderland 1.
Walsall, the leaders of League 2, unbeaten in 9, leading them by a 0-0. Details of the goal from Nikesh Rugani.
Yeah, they look good to continue that run as well, thanks to a goal from Taylor Allen, who latched onto a loose ball, edge of the area, left foot, low, powerful shot into the bottom corner. It's Walsall 1, Barrow 0.
We've been playing for half an hour at Anfield, where Fulham are leading Liverpool by a 0-0. Here are the thoughts of Chris Sutton.
Yeah, well, Joe Gomez has now come out into a left-back position. I think that's the right move. It looked really lopsided and odd with Gakpo. I wouldn't say he's too defensive-minded, so he's trying to clog up that gap as such.
Jones lost the ball, plays it forward now. So that means Gravenberch is partnering Van Dijk at the heart of the Liverpool defence. A goal at St James's Park, Masfarouki.
He's had a couple of chances, but he's put this one away. Jacob Murphy putting Newcastle ahead, but all the hard work done by Anthony Gordon in the build-up. Newcastle 1, Leicester 0.
We'll be there on Wednesday night for a League Cup quarter-final. Commentary of Newcastle-Brentford. This is Pereira. Pereira lets it run through. Wilson arriving, blocked by Gomez inside the penalty area. Fulham threatened a second goal. The 10 men were stretched, but Szoboszlai now brings the ball away for Liverpool. Chips it over the top towards Salah. Salah won't get there first. Cuenca puts it out of play for a throw.
What a game he's having, Cuenca. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Had to be watchful. But Fulham, Robinson, he's so clever when he gets forward. Doesn't just whip balls in aimlessly.
Here is Alexander-Arnold. Crosses, comes in, headed out by Diop. Partially cleared by Fulham. Jones plays it with purpose out towards Alexander-Arnold. Cross from the right-hand side. Diop there again to head the ball away. Fulham only had 2 wins in 38 visits to Anfield in their history. And in each of Fulham's last 3 Premier League wins, 2 of them here at Anfield, they've been by a 1-0 scoreline. Remember, Arne Slot, since he took charge, only once have Liverpool have failed to score. That was when they lost by a 0-0 against Nottingham Forest, the only time they've been beaten this season. However, they had the full complement available to them, and that Robertson sending off after 20 minutes, eventually after that 4-minute delay, might just give Fulham that little edge.
From Liverpool's point of view, mentioned Arne Slot lacking energy in the week. They need to find it somewhere here.
Szoboszlai, his cross from the right-hand side is deep. Gakpo deliberately heads it back to the left corner of the area for Gomez. Infield he goes for Jones. Jones in a central area, waits, comes back onto his right foot to pass the ball back out towards the left. Here is Gakpo, left corner of the area, flat ball in. Diop again will head the ball away. Jimenez can't hold it up. Goal at Ewood Park, Mike Maine.
How's this for your full debut? 19-year-old Kozia Dubry on loan from Brighton drives it into the bottom left-hand corner. Blackburn deserve it. Blackburn Rovers 1, Luton 0.
They're going well. They've won their last 5 of Blackburn Rovers.
Tell you what, Tete and Gomez are coming together. There were arms flying everywhere there. This will be an interesting one. Were there any punches which connected? 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Arne Slot is actually having a strong word with Tim Robinson, the 4th official, as Tony Harrington is having a calming word with the 2 number 2s, Tete and Gomez.
Well,
no action taken.
How can there be no card shown there after we've seen some of the earlier cards? Just seeing the pick out from Robinson as a clever over by Pereira. A chance for Fulham a couple of moments ago, and then Wilson runs onto the ball, strokes it from 16 yards. Brilliant block. It was, I think, from Gravenberch.
Cardiff City, without a win in 6, have equalised at Stoke. Stoke City 1, Cardiff City 1, and Cheltenham lead Morecambe by a 0-0 in League 2. You're up to date with the goals as they go in. Up and down the country here on 5 Live, the World Service and the BBC Sounds app, as Robinson is played in over on that far side. He's got Iwobi going through just on the inside of him. Iwobi couldn't take it in his path. Held up by Gravenberch. Szoboszlai tried to help it on its way, but it goes out of play for a Liverpool throw just short of the halfway line.
Yeah, they've got those 2 enforcers, Fulham, middle of the park. Sasa Lukic and Sander Berger, they just sit in front of the back ball, breaking everything up, as Lukic did really well there against Szoboszlai.
So that goal for Fulham 11 minutes into this game from Pereira, took it ever so well. The first goal that Liverpool have conceded at Anfield in 7 hours and 27 minutes. Rotherham United now lead Northampton Town by 2-0 in League One.
You sort of joned them a little bit, Liverpool, talking about their incredible defensive record, didn't you?
Well, not really. They went behind.
You talked it up and then they conceded.
I'm not taking that one. Out towards Salah. Salah on the right. Goes on the outside of Robinson. Cuenca came across.
Does brilliantly. You know he wants to come inside on his left foot and get a shot off. Drove the outside. Maybe took an extra touch, but Cuenca, I said before, hasn't put a foot wrong so far.
To continue with the Panto parlance, oh no, I didn't. Liverpool have a corner. Far side the right, trailing by a 0-0. Robertson dismissed. They're attacking the Anfield Road end. This should be an outswinging corner. Fulham have every white shirt back inside their own penalty area. Alexander-Arnold hits it, goes very deep, nobody there.
They need a set piece, coach.
Jimenez brings it away towards Iwobi. Time to control the ball. Motherwell back in front at home to Dundee United. They lead Dundee United by 2-1. Back to Molineux we go. Pat Murphy.
Wolves are still 1-0 down, but they're coming back into the game as the crowd get onto them. Just now, Cunha, some trickery on the right wing, low cross, cleared with some difficulty by the Ipswich defence. They need to hang on till half-time. Wolves 0, Ipswich 1.
Twice now Salah has beaten Robertson in a matter of minutes, but on this occasion he was helped out by Berger, covering in the midfield. Fulham now with Berger, plays the ball back towards Leno. Leno quickly gets rid of that off his right boot, out towards the left, headed in field by Robinson. Lukic ties it back. Cuenca then will go back towards his goalkeeper, and Fulham playing the ball around. Marco Silva, winless in all 10 against Liverpool in his managerial career, formerly of Hull, Watford and Everton. He's lost all 5 at Anfield. He'll never have a better opportunity here. Against 10 men and leading by a 0-0. We are certainly guaranteed a dramatic afternoon.
Oh, we are, because Liverpool, 10 men, they're still really pressing Fulham high. They're not sitting in and allowing Fulham to have the ball. They're being brave with their press, and of course, that's the chance of Fulham. They're capable enough to play through Liverpool.
Gravenberch. That was a high boot. He's going to be shown a yellow card. Let's get an update from St James's Park. Mas Faruqi.
All Newcastle at the moment. A glorious chance for Alexander Isak to get a second for Newcastle, shooting tamely at the keeper. They're just claiming for a penalty at the moment here, Newcastle. So VAR will have a look, and it's still Newcastle 1, Leicester 0.
Here is Berger on the halfway line. Berger running into the centre circle. They're playing in their white shirts and black shorts from left to right, if you've just joined us. As Robinson out towards Iwobi, provides the width, holds the line, far side the left, runs forward now. Iwobi cuts it back, edge of the area. Went behind 4 white shirts who were all inside the box. Alexander-Arnold now couldn't get the switch of play, stopped by Diop at the heart of the Fulham defence. And Fulham again work it with that man advantage out towards Iwobi, unmarked far side the left. Iwobi enters the penalty area, looks to cut inside. Iwobi gets the shot blocked by Alexander-Arnold. Szoboszlai plays it back towards Jones. Jones leaves it towards Alexander-Arnold. Are Arsenal still being held? John Southall.
They are. Good defensive work from Everton. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Best chance of the game though, Ødegaard 8 yards out. His shot deflected and then saved really well by Pickford. Good stop. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Ball over the top towards Salah. Salah will get there. Right side of the penalty area, but Cuenca again comes across. Fulham's 2 central defenders are extremely alert. Birmingham City 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Peterborough 2, Crawley 1. So Crawley have a goal back. Liverpool have a throw. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that Fulham's centre halves, their understanding has been phenomenal. Liverpool awarded the free kick. I thought Batty would be a massive miss for them, and of course they're missing Anderson as well. But Cuenca stood up to his task very, very well. But here's an opportunity from a free kick for Liverpool.
Reading 5 unbeaten in League One, are now 2-0 down at home to Steve Bruce's side. Reading 0, Blackpool 2. I think that would be a 3rd straight win for Blackpool in League One. Liverpool trailing by a 0-0, 6 minutes to go to half time. There will be a lot of added on time, one would imagine, but they have a free kick. It's right of centre. Alexander-Arnold right-footed to take it, and the header from Gakpo Glances off his head, and he's easily saved by Leno diving forward as we look away towards our left, and he's able to throw it out towards Pereira, the goal scorer, who rolls it along the ground out towards that far side. Iwobi plays it infield to Lukic. Jones with the press. Back they go to their central defenders, who play it across the back. Diop, short ball towards Tete, the right back. Down the line he goes. Jimenez can't roll away from Gomez. Now filling in at left back, and Fulham get a throw.
Yeah, Jimenez just peeling out to this right hand side, gets his body in, draws the foul from Gomez. A lot of Fulham's joy has come down the other side, hasn't it? Down that left, the combination between Iwobi and Robinson.
Pereira coming back from an offside position. Liverpool then will get a free kick 6 yards inside their own half. So I've mentioned that we'll be at the City Ground for the 5:30 commentary. We've got 5 Live boxing at 9, Natasha Jones against Ivana Habazin, and tomorrow in 5 Live's Premier League Sunday, Brighton Crystal Palace at 2, to be followed by the Manchester derby at 4:30, City against United.
He's annoying on the slot in the Liverpool crowd, the referee is.
And then once again he's inquiring with a 4th official as Salah gets the better of Robinson, back goal side, plays it back, Szoboszlai's early ball in, and the header from Luis Diaz 6 yards out, it's over the top. Best chance that Liverpool have created.
Yeah, and no flag. Diaz, was it just a little bit too high for him? Szoboszlai, bang on the money. I wonder whether he had just drifted offside. Headed the ball well over the bar, may have been slightly too high for him. Leaps 6 yards out, just needs to get over the ball and power it into the floor. He doesn't, ends up powering the ball over the bar.
Blackburn Rovers have got a second goal at Ewood Park. Blackburn 2, Luton Town 0. Mike Minay has news of the goal.
Yeah, low ball in from the right hand side. Gay was there, it was on a plate for him, somehow he messed it up, but Beck arrived just behind him and fired it home. Blackburn 2, Luton 0.
4 minutes to go to the break. No other goals to tell you about elsewhere. Luis Diaz infield. Jones midway through the Fulham half, plays it out towards that far side. Gravenberch just outside the centre circle, goes to his left. Van Dijk passes the ball forward. Jones with a little layoff back towards Gravenberch. Every outfield player is in the Fulham half away towards our left hand side. Salah, Robinson gets a foot into the challenge on this occasion. A little bit tighter was the Fulham left back. As Gravenberch to Van Dijk, he waits. This is an 18-match undefeated run that is being tested here by Fulham, as the ball is passed out by Gomez towards Gakpo, comes in off the left touchline, looks for the run of Gomez, too far ahead of him. Out of play it goes for a goal kick.
Really brave in possession, Liverpool. Gomez in that inverted midfield role, pops the ball out to Gakpo and then makes a forward run. Gakpo off the left hand side. Yeah, it's just heavily weighted. Gomez can't quite keep it in. But it's fascinating, isn't it? Just because of how brave Liverpool are being with their press. And can Fulham be brave enough to play through them?
Here is Jones. Jones infield. Alexander-Arnold comes centrally, passes the ball early. Szoboszlai with a layoff. On that occasion, Cuenca once again was alert. Went to ground, made the sliding clearance. Motherwell 3, Dundee United 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Liverpool now just starting to build a head of steam as we enter the closing stages of the first half, as they trail by a 1-0. Gravenberch with a loose ball, gives it away. Berger now onto it for Fulham. Out towards that far side. Robinson looks for the ball inside towards Iwobi. Over the halfway line, plays it back towards Diop. Diop coming forward now for Fulham. Laid off by Wilson, gets a shove in the back for good measure by Van Dijk. Cuenca will wait. Forward ball. Lukic, tidy from Fulham. Out towards Iwobi on the far side, looks to try and switch play from left to right and succeeds. Controlled, cushioned touch there off his left boot by Wilson. Only a couple of appearances that he made during his time at Anfield. As Wilson waits, flicks it towards Pereira, the goal scorer. A slender lead that Fulham have. They lose the ball through Tete, who's quite high up the pitch. As Liverpool now, Szoboszlai back towards Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold makes a run through the middle. He finds him, early release, stopped by Diop once again. They were looking to try and get Gakpo through away and released.
Berger just put him under enough pressure to rush the pass from Alexander-Arnold, but looked like for a moment Salah may have been through on that right hand side, high Fulham line.
No other goals elsewhere around the country, but we can get an update from the Emirates with John Southall.
Well, Arsenal have had another chance. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Martinelli on the left of the area. Good save by Pickford, though, this near post. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Gakpo rolls it to the left-hand side. Gomez with a cross, in-swinger, just too far over the head of Szoboszlai. Curls its way through and over and out for a goal kick. And we enter the last 60 seconds of normal time, but I can see already that Tim Robinson, the fourth official, is wrestling with that electronic board down below. You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it should be. Robertson was down for a long time.
And it is going to be 6, we are led to believe, as Leno clears it downfield. Fulham still leading. Gravenberch in the centre circle. Rolls it out towards Salah. Robinson goes to face him. Salah now up against both Robinson and Iwobi, and it runs away off the legs of the Fulham left back, and Liverpool have a corner kick.
Yeah, Iwobi does well, gets back, doubles up. Salah persistent, driving with the ball, and Robinson pokes the ball behind. And Alexander-Arnold be on the money with this corner. Wasn't the last one.
6 minutes of added on time, that was the confirmation, and we're now into that minimum of 6 minutes here at Anfield. Arsenal still being held by Everton. Liverpool down to 10 men and trailing. Corner kick, Alexander-Arnold takes it. Headed away at the near post, and it must have gone out before it came back in by Robinson. It will be a Fulham goal kick.
Wow, that's unforgivable, isn't it? You know, we speak about Arsenal and their set-piece record, and in a game when you're down to 10 men, that's 2 corners Liverpool have had, and they're able to load the box, and Alexander-Arnold has been off on both.
Fulham actually have a good habit of scoring first in games this season. They've actually now scored first in 12 games. That's the joint highest with Nottingham Forest, who play a little later on.
But do they hang on to those starts?
I was about to give you the answer. Of the 11, the previous 11, they've won 5, they've drawn 3, and they've lost 3. Half-time, Arsenal 0, Everton 0. We'll be going around the grounds with Mark Chapman on BBC Radio 5 Live and Lee James on the World Service very, very soon. We're in stoppage time at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Fulham 1 is still the latest score. Here is Gomez, inside towards Jones. Jones chips the ball forward. Salah is there, stopped by Robinson, still forced to Salah. Miss kick, Cuenca clears it up in the air for Fulham. But it goes high and then drops towards the right-hand side of the penalty area, where Szoboszlai battles for it. But it runs away and bobbles off his knees. And all of a sudden Pereira can potentially break for Fulham as he chips it out towards Jimenez. There was a stumble by Gravenberch, but he got his body in the way, and Liverpool are back in possession. Gomez on the stretch, on the halfway line, out towards Luis Diaz. Gakpo now has gone central as Diaz plays it infield towards Jones, lets it come across his body. Van Dijk on the halfway line in the centre circle. Liverpool all in red, playing from right to left. Diaz, Gomez going ahead of him in that inverted role. Little touch back towards Diaz, lets it step over, runs through towards Jones, now goes on the overlap. Gomez plays it inside. This is with Diaz midway through the Fulham half. Gravenberch playing as a central defender now comes forward. He goes to his right. Alexander-Arnold out towards Salah, again shrugs off Robinson, but he tries to stay with the Egyptian, who then gives the ball away, and Wilson clears it downfield.
Yeah, Robinson sticks with Salah, but with Robinson on a yellow card, Liverpool need to keep getting the ball out right and letting Salah run at him.
In the top of the table in League One, third place Birmingham are ahead. Wrexham are being held by Cambridge. Wycombe were ahead, but another goal at Shrewsbury. Niall McCorn.
Shrewsbury 0, Wycombe 2. More miserable defending from the side bottom of the table. This time Shrewsbury shipping one from a set piece. Corner dropped into the penalty area, caused absolute chaos. Dropped kindly for Caleb Taylor to dispatch for 2-0 to Wycombe here against Shrewsbury.
We have 2 minutes remaining of added on time here at Anfield. Van Dijk forward for Liverpool finds Gomez. Jones is available on this near side, and here is the England international. Now into the centre circle for Gravenberch, quickly closed down by Pereira. Gravenberch runs forward. Here is Jones, plays it out towards Gakpo. Gomez used as a decoy run, crosses towards the far post, well claimed by Leno. Came with real authority.
Yeah, he did. It's really well worked from Liverpool. Gakpo coming in on his right foot, but ball too close to Leno. Szoboszlai in the box, Diaz in the box, Salah at the far post, couldn't pick out his man.
They've reached half-time at Molineux. Wolves 0, Ipswich Town 1. We'll be going there when we go around the grounds during the break, but by my watch we've just got about just over 60 seconds remaining of added on time as an aimless ball by Cuenca, for which he apologises, goes straight downfield, and Alisson back in the side, of course, in midweek against Girona, could do nothing about that volley finished by Pereira on the stretch for the only goal. But of course that goal compounding Liverpool's misery was the sending off of Robertson minutes later. As Iwobi picks it up, Robinson powering ahead on the overlap. Iwobi feeds it towards Robinson. He crosses the ball. Wilson was arriving left-footed, couldn't get the connection, left-footed into the goal kick. Fulham lead 1-0.
Yeah, and spoke about the most overlaps from Robertson in the Premier League this season, but his quality is phenomenal from wide areas. Most successful completed crosses once again, picks his man out, just bounced in front of Wilson. Not an easy one. Scoops it over the bar, but they do look a threat to Fulham.
Szoboszlai chips it long. Robinson couldn't get there, helped out by Cuenca once again. He's had an eye-catching game at the back for Fulham. As Iwobi looking to link up with Pereira. Pereira left-hand side of the penalty area, tries to work over the cross, blocked by Szoboszlai, presents it towards Jimenez. Referee's given a free kick for a foul by Jimenez on Szoboszlai inside the Liverpool penalty area. But by my watch, the 6 minutes are up of this stoppage time in the first half. Liverpool with 10 men playing out from the back and then playing it back towards Alisson. What are your thoughts then for this first half, Chris Sutton?
Well, I've enjoyed it. I mean, fascinating. Robertson, of course, getting sent off. The biggest talking point, I thought it was a red card, but mentioned about Fulham. They've got their own ambition this season. Had a great start to the season. Wonderful cross and connection from Pereira for the Fulham goal. And Liverpool, top of the tree, top of the table. They've got work to do, though.
And certainly work to do in the second half, as Arne Slot is quickly down the tunnel to address his players, who are down to 10 men after that sending off of Robertson, after Pereira, with a well-taken goal, had given Fulham the lead. So half-time, and what a second half we have in store for you. But at the break here at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Fulham 1.
Visitors lead at Anfield, the visitors lead at Molineux. Pat Murphy.
Ipswich lead 1-0 due to an own goal by Matt Doherty. They deserve it. They've been calm and organised apart from a couple of scrapes. Delap has led the line superbly. His strong run led to the goal. Ball pinging across the penalty area. Hutchinson shot blocked. Chaplin shot on the follow-up deflected into his own net by Doherty. Bellegarde should have been at least on target for Wolves over the bar. Cunha's low cross created problems but hacked clear. Apart from that, Ipswich have looked in control. Wolves 0, Ipswich 1.
Turning into a good afternoon for Chelsea so far, with Liverpool behind and Arsenal being held, John Southall.
Absolutely. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Arsenal frustrated by Everton, who've defended really well. Obdurate, organised, 5 Arsenal corners dealt with by Everton. Sean Dyche will be delighted. Few clear-cut chances. Merton Odegaard with the best 8 yards out. His shot deflected, then saved by Pickford. Pickford denied Martinelli. It's been really impressive, the Everton keeper. One opening for Everton, Doucouré on the left of the area. Terrific sliding challenge from Gabriel. So at the moment, Arsenal not taking advantage of Liverpool's first half wobble. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
To St James's Park and Maz Faruqi.
Well, that goal half an hour in certainly settling the nerves of the Newcastle fans here, but also the players, it seems. Jacob Murphy really celebrating his goal in front of the Gallowgate end because of the couple of chances, I think, before that he had put wide. He was picked out really nicely at the edge of the Leicester area by Anthony Gordon, who has been so full of energy in this first 45. It's been a rather pensive Ruud van Nistelrooy at times on the touchline, although the last few minutes of the first half were much more positive from his Leicester side, and perhaps that's something for them to build on. At the break, it is Newcastle 1, Leicester 0.
Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa to come here on 5 Live at 5:30. In the Championship earlier, Bristol City 1, QPR 1. Coventry came from a goal down to beat bottom of the table Hull 2-1. Leeds got a second half injury time equaliser at Preston that took them top on goal difference going into the 3 o'clocks. But Sheffield United, as things stand, are going back to the summit. John Bennett.
Yeah, Sheffield United 1, Plymouth are goal nil. Struggling Plymouth haven't done too much wrong, but the home side proving why they're a winning machine right now. A game of few chances, but Gus Harmer took his a low volley through a crowd of players. At the other end, Plymouth boss Wayne Rooney had his head in his hands after Darko JB put a golden opportunity over. So Sheffield United 3 points clear as it stands. Sheffield United 1, Plymouth 0.
Blackburn are on course for a 6th straight win. Mike Miney.
And they lead Luton 2-0 at the break. Deserved too. The first a low-driven effort from 19-year-old Brighton Lowney and Mario Cozier-Dubry on his first start. The second came from the right. Gay had it on a plate, somehow miskicked it. Beck was on the follow-up behind, slammed it home. Luton's chances are rare in this game. Rovers did need, though, Ainsley Pears, their goalkeeper, to produce 2 quick saves at one point. And a shout too for Harry Pickering, who's got to have the fastest yellow card of the season. I may make it that his booking came within less than 15 seconds of kick-off. Blackburn 2, Luton 0.
Hibs have equalised on the stroke of half-time. Bottom in the Scottish Premiership. Dwight Gale has scored for them. Hibs 1, Ross County 1. Back to the Championship. Molly Stevens.
Swansea 2, Sunderland 1. The dream start for Swansea. It took Jan Vipotnik just 5 minutes to open the scoring from close range, but Liam Cullen doubled their lead with a pick of the game, curling home a beauty of a free kick via the underside of the bar. Sunderland looked out of it, but a diving header and a first league goal in more than a year for Dan Ballard got the visitors right back in this 2-1.
Neil Harris's Millwall farewell not going to plan. Chris Coles.
Not going to plan. They trail at Middlesbrough by a goal to nil. Remarkably, just the one goal in this game, despite numerous big chances for both. Emmanuel Latte-Lath scored for Middlesbrough. Neat 1-2 on the edge of the box. Smart finish under the keeper. But Millwall have missed 2 identical excellent chances, both one-on-ones. Femi Aziz and Macaulay Langstaff, both denied by good Sol Bryn saves. Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0.
Elsewhere, Greg Lee gave Oxford the lead at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Josh Windas's 6th of the season, equalising for Danny Roll's side, so it's 1-1 at the break, and it's also 1-1 between Stoke and Cardiff. Andrew Moran put in the home side ahead. Anwar El Ghazi equalising for the Welsh visitors. In League One earlier, Bolton 0, Wigan 2, and Leyton Orient 0, Burton 0. Bottom versus top, very much going the way of top. Niall McCorn.
Yeah, Shrewsbury 0, Wycombe 2. A first half lacking in quality had one standout moment of class, and that came from league leaders Wycombe. Cameron Humphreys went stooping and stumbling on the right hand side, but ultimately did manage to lift a ball to the far post for the spare Bez Lubala to finish off. He couldn't really miss. Shrewsbury tempers were tested when Wycombe's Dan Harvey was shown a yellow card. The incident unfolded right in front of Gareth Ainsworth, who felt that a yellow card wasn't enough against his former side. Referee didn't agree. Home frustrations grew further in first half stoppage time. More miserable defending from the side bottom of the table. This time Shrewsbury shipping one from a set piece. A corner caused absolute chaos and dropped nicely for Caleb Taylor to dispatch. So half time, chappers. Shrewsbury 0, Wycombe 2.
Sounds like it's a bigger test for Wrexham against relegation threatened Cambridge. Shojo Saka.
Yeah, Wrexham 1, Cambridge 1. Cambridge, as you say, in the relegation zone, they've been great so far. Deservedly took the lead through Elias Kachunga, slamming home a Shane Lavery cross from the left. The Wrexham equaliser coming slightly against the run of play. A high, floaty cross from Ryan Barnett down the right, headed home really nicely at the back post by captain James McLean. Promotion chasing Wrexham. Been better since then, but they're still being held. Wrexham 1, Cambridge 1.
Elsewhere, Birmingham in third, lead Bristol Rovers by 2-0 at the break. Jay Stansfield getting there second. That's his 12th of the season. It came from the penalty spot. Charlton 0, Mansfield 0. Exeter lead Barnsley by 1-0. Josh McGuinness with that. He's got 6 for the season. Huddersfield 0, Lincoln 2. They've got 7 wins in their last 9 of Huddersfield, but they are behind at the break, and Bailey Kadamatri got one of the Lincoln goals. 7 for the season for him. Peterborough lead Crawley by 2-0. Ricky J. Jones getting one of the goals for Darren Ferguson's side. He's now got 11 for the season. Reading 0, Blackpool 2. They're going for their 3rd straight win as Steve Bruce's side. Rotherham lead Northampton by 2-0. Both those goals for Johnson Clark Harris. He's now got 7 for the season. Stevenage 1, Stockport 1. The other half-time in League One. Now, in the early games in League Two, Salford beat Notts County 3-0 and Tranmere beat Harrogate 2-1. The leaders, Walsall, are at home to Barrow. Nikesh Ragani.
And at the break, it's Walsall 1, Barrow 0. A first half which lacked quality, and despite Walsall being on this 9-match unbeaten run, it's Barrow with just 1 win in 11 that looked the better of the two sides. Walsall's goal coming from a corner, a loose clearance, finding its way to Taylor Allen on the edge of the area, and his left-footed shot went through a lot of traffic to find the bottom corner. But Barrow have had several good chances themselves, the best two falling to Emile Aqua, who couldn't quite convert. At the break, it's Walsall 1, Barrow 0.
Can second place Port Vale keep pace? They're at Bromley. Adam Cottier.
Well, they're finding this one difficult so far. Bromley 0, Port Vale 0. Bromley will be disheartened they're not ahead. They've had numerous chances, 2 of which fell to their top scorer, Michael Cheek. He had a header brilliantly saved towards the end of the half from Connor Ripley in the Vale goal. Bromley better. It's Bromley 0, Port Vale 0.
Not that many goals around in League 2 this afternoon. AFC Wimbledon lead Doncaster, who are third by a goal to 0. Matty Stevens with the goal, 15 for the season for him now. Bradford, who haven't won in their last 6 in the league, lead Swindon by a goal to 0. Chesterfield are a goal up at bottom of the table, Carlisle. Cheltenham 1, Morecambe 0. It's goalless between Colchester and Newport, and Grimsby and Crewe, and MK Dons and Gillingham. In the National League this afternoon, AFC Fylde 1, Eastleigh 0. Aldershot 0, FC Halifax 2. Altrincham leads Sutton by a goal to 0. Regan Linney with that goal. He cannot stop scoring for them at the moment. Great first half for Barnet, who lead Ebbsfleet by 4 goals to 0. Goalless between Dagenham and Redbridge and Rochdale. Gateshead 3, Woking 0. Maidenhead are down to 10, but it's goalless with Solihull Moors. Oldham 1, Wealdstone 2. Southend 0, Hartlepool 0. York are a goal up at Tamworth, and it's Yeovil 1, Braintree 1. In the Scottish Premiership, that Dwight Gale equaliser for Hibs on the stroke of half-time means they're level with Ross County 1-1. Motherwell lead Dundee United 3-1. It's St Johnstone 0, St Mirren 1. Reduced fixture list in the Scottish Premiership today because it's the League Cup final tomorrow between Celtic and Rangers. In the Scottish Championship, Adrionians 1, Morton 2. Heck of a first half at Ayr. They lead Falkirk 3-2, and Falkirk are down to 10. Hamilton 2, Queen's Park 1, and Wraith 1, Dunfermline 0. In League 1, goalless between Alloa and Montrose, and Cove Rangers and Kelty Hearts. Dumbarton 1, Annan 2. Inverness down to 10 and goalless with Arbroath. Queen of the South leads Stenhouse Muir by a goal to 0. In League 2, Elgin 1, Stirling 3. Forfar 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0. Peterhead 1, East Fife 0. Spartans 2, Clyde 1, and Stranraer 0. Edinburgh 0. Earlier in the Women's Super League, Chelsea dropped their first points of the season as they were held at Leicester. Leicester 1, Chelsea 1. In the Champions Cup in Rugby Union earlier, Bulls 21, Northampton 30, approaching half-time between Ulster and Bordeaux, and they are level at 14 points each, and that is on Sports Extra if you want to listen to it. Second half from Anfield on the way. First of all, Juliana Castay and the news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Home Secretary Yvette Cooper says the government's ready to take action against any threat to UK national security after it was reported that Prince Andrew invited an alleged Chinese spy to Buckingham Palace. The businessman is said to have been a close confidant of the Prince. A statement from Prince Andrew's office says the Duke cut all ties with the man once concerns were raised. Industry leaders have warned that the UK doesn't have enough construction workers to build the 1.5 million homes promised by the government. The Home Builders Federation and the UK's largest house builder, Barratt Redrow, says tens of thousands of new recruits are needed to get anywhere near the target. A growing number of councils in England are stepping in to replace the winter fuel payment for some pensioners who no longer qualify for it. Research by Radio 4's Moneybox programme has found that around 1 in 5 councils are using their own hardship funds to offer a direct replacement. And some pubs have told the BBC they ran out of Guinness this week after limits were imposed on supplying the run-up to Christmas. The Liffey in Liverpool, where Guinness is usually a top seller, says it's been without the drink since Wednesday. It's one of several pubs that tell the BBC that they've run dry in recent days.
You count the goals, the last-minute screams, from Cantona's flair to Aguero's dreams. The blue moon rises, the red flames burn. To the Etihad now all eyes return. Feel the roar as the rivals meet, with Bernardo's glides and Bruno's quick feet. From Garnacho's precision to Haaland's stride, from the pitch to the stands, the passion thrives. Through derby days, through glory's chase, City's charge and United's grace. The pride of Manchester never dies, as legends are made and foes collide. the Manchester Derby, Sunday from 4:30 on BBC Radio 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Do you think the people who made that trail have watched either Manchester club recently? Let's go to the Emirates. John Southall.
It's a fair point. Arsenal,
isn't it? Sounds more dramatic.
Arsenal corner. Sorry, Mark. Yeah.
It sounds more dramatic than the game itself, really. But anyway.
Yeah, probably the game will be. Anyway, Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Early chance for Arsenal in this second half. Saka on the right of the area, on the volley about 7 or 8 yards out. Pickford flying to his left-hand side, palmed it away for the corner. That corner's just been taken. 6th of the game for Arsenal. Again, there was Pickford. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Still waiting for the teams to come back out at Anfield because they had so much first half stoppage time. So let's return to the Championship earlier. Preston 1, Leeds 1. Leeds getting a late point thanks to a Preston own goal in stoppage time. So that briefly put Leeds top before the Sheffield United Plymouth game kicked off. Here's Daniel Farker.
Yeah, I think we started a bit slow in the head because we allowed them to have one chance, and sometimes one chance can be decisive. I think in this moment when we lost the ball on the edge of the other box, our counter-pressing, our reaction, our move-up block on, also the willingness to sprint back to defend the counter to deal with the situation could have been better. And sometimes when they score out of one chance, one goal, it could be already decisive. I was not pleased with the first 20 minutes in this terms, but then pleased how we reacted and how we pushed more and more pressure on them in the second half. I think we should have scored and equalized before we won each and every statistic. Normally, from statistic-wise, this match could have had just one winner. But if you don't grab your reward, then you have to keep going and don't lose the nerves. And this is what we did today and gained a valuable point. Has nothing to do at the moment with the table or promotion ranks anyhow, because last 6 games, when it's crunch time, I would say, okay, then you also are a bit nervous and have a look on the other pitches, but at this moment you don't know who is really up there, and in the end just have to concentrate on yourself. And we always knew that it would be a tough game here at Preston. They are unbeaten since 6, especially in home games here. Difficult to create chances and to score goals against them. So for that, could have started better into the game, but then it's a championship. When you play all 3 days, sometimes you have to put 20 minutes, and then you have to make sure that's not decisive against you.
Peterborough scored early in the second half, and they're now 3-1 up on Crawley in League One. And speaking of early second half goals, Maz?
Yeah, great start for Newcastle in this match. Newcastle 2, Leicester 0. Guimaraes header into the back of the Leicester net, headed back across goal to him by Lewis Hall from an Anthony Gordon free kick. One of the first real moves forward in this match. VAR are having a look though at a possible offside. Leicester actually changed their keeper at half time. Mads Hermansen replaced by Danny Ward, who looked really undercooked with that Newcastle chance. But as I say, they are just checking possible VAR, so come back to me.
Will do. Have Wolves made any changes at the break? Pat?
Yes, they have. Midfield, Tommy Doyle has come on for Andre, who's been anonymous in midfield. This is a big half for both clubs for obvious reasons, and Ait Nuri, the Wolves winger, needs to be careful. He's already been booked. He's had a snarling a set piece, a set 2 with Burns on several occasions. Burns is getting under his skin. He needs to watch it. Wolves 0, Ipswich 1.
Bruno Guimaraes goal stands. Newcastle 2, Leicester 0. Couple of early goals in the National League. Aldershot have pulled one back at home to Halifax. It's 2-1 there. And Oldham have come from 2 down to draw level at home against Wealdstone. Oldham 2, Wealdstone 2. And Sheffield Wednesday through Jamal Lowe have just gone ahead at Oxford. Oxford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Back to Chris and Ian.
Thanks, Mark. Well, Liverpool were out early, the 10 men after that Robertson dismissal in the first half, and Fulham have just come out now and they haven't made any changes. So, Alisson is in goal for Liverpool, Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Gomez and Gravenberch is the defence, with Szoboszlai, Jones, Diaz, Gakpo and Salah all in red as Liverpool are attacking the Kop end in the second half. And Fulham have Leno in goal, a back four of Tete, Diop, Cuenca and Robinson, Berger, Lukic, Pereira, Wilson, Iwobi and Jimenez. Fulham lead by 1-0. And another early goal in the second half at Newcastle, Masfaruki.
What a couple of minutes it's been for Newcastle. A third from the home side. Alexander Isak this time. Again, really nice work from Gordon, and then Hall down the left-hand side. Headed in by Isak. Newcastle 3, Leicester 0.
So 5 minutes into the second half at St James's Park, and we're in the opening 60 seconds here. But clearly the message from Arne Slot was to get out there. Not that the home support has been wanting at any point. They're up for this as Liverpool looking for an equaliser, have a free kick midway through the Fulham half. The white shirts line up on the edge of the penalty area. Currently Van Dijk, Diaz and Gakpo in offside positions as Gomez makes a run through, as does Salah. Excellent defending running back with Jimenez, who tracked the run of Salah and got there as well. And now there's a break on for Fulham, and it's Iwobi almost getting in the way of Robertson just to thwart his run somewhat, but Robinson with his pace won't get there first. Gravenberch did well for Liverpool. Huddersfield Town have got a goal back at home to Lincoln City. Huddersfield 1, Lincoln City 2. And now all of a sudden Gomez has got space to run into. An early ball towards Gakpo. Gakpo up against Tete. He runs in field. Gakpo slows down, turns and plays it back. Jones comes onto the ball. Gomez is high up on that far side, the left. Gomez leaves it for Jones. Diaz comes away from the penalty area, passes the ball 30 yards out, 10 yards in from the touchline. Salah with inviting cross. Liverpool are level. A tumbling header at the far post by Cody Gakpo. Met it perfectly. 2 minutes after the restart. The noise inside Anfield will tell you that Liverpool are level. The 10 men 1-1.
Well, just sensed at the start of the second half Liverpool were going to come out and play aggressively. What a ball that is from Mo Salah. 25 yards out on his left foot, gets his head up, he picks Gakpo out, who throws himself full length of the ball, far post. He's 6 yards out, gets it on target, he's going to score. The back of the net bulges. Liverpool are level. Brilliant ball, brilliant header. Leno couldn't come. That was on a plate for Gakpo.
Hold on. There is a VAR check. Well, they check every goal, but the game hasn't restarted immediately. So you can hear the murmurs of discontent. Peterborough 3, Crawley Town 2 is the latest score in League One. And Cody Gakpo, who was looking to celebrate his 7th goal in his last 10 games, can do so, because after a VAR check, he whips up the crowd. The goal stands 1-1 confirmed.
Yeah, Gakpo was on his own at the far post. I think it was Luis Diaz that they were looking for a possible foul on Diop, but the ball was nowhere near those two players anyway. Gakpo finishes, and listen to this noise around Anfield.
There was such a roar that greeted that Gakpo equaliser. It means that only once now in 23 games have they failed to score, and that was against Nottingham Forest in 23 matches under Arne Slot in all competitions. And the crowd, well, I've got to say, they have been so encouraging in every aspect. As Szoboszlai gets away from Berger, you wouldn't know that Liverpool are down to 10 at the moment. Gakpo again inside the penalty area, shoots and saved by Leno. What a start to the second half by the leaders.
Gakpo asking for a handball there, comes inside on his right foot, gets a shot off. He's not happy about something. Clever from Szoboszlai, little nutmeg on Berger on the right hand side, feeds the ball out to Gakpo, comes inside on his right foot. I think it's a handball. He's looking for a possible foul on Gomez from Tete. Not going to get that, but Leno smartly down to his right hand side. Tete down, and that coming together with Gomez. But you've got to earn titles, Ian, haven't you? And Liverpool, through a bit of adversity with that sending off, just seeing that coming together, Gomez.
It doesn't matter in what area of the ground for that latest Liverpool chant, whether you're in the top tier of the Anfield Road end away towards our left, the bottom tier of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand, the Kop or the main stand. Every Liverpool supporter was trying to play their part there, as they are now, by keeping the noise. It is electric inside Anfield. Stevenage 2, Stockport County 1, Peterborough United 3, Crawley Town 3 is the latest score at London Road. As we go to St James's Park and Maz Faruqi.
This start from Newcastle to the second half, blowing Leicester away. Another chance, Isak involved again, laying the ball up to Murphy, who blasted over, but Leicester are shell-shocked and they trail 3-0.
And amidst the din, I heard the instructions to go to Pat Murphy at Molineux.
Ipswich still lead 1-0. Delap still a danger on the breakaway. A few crafty nudges here and there. Burns for Ipswich, a cross shot palmed away by the keeper, but the pressure's coming from Wolves. Wolves 0, Ipswich 1.
Tete is down. Gomez is still getting treatment. You're not missing any of the action because there is a stoppage in play. It allows us to go to Arsenal. John Southall.
56 minutes played. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Arsenal still looking for this breakthrough. Pickford beat Havertz to a through ball. Havertz got the ball stuck in under his feet, 12 yards out. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Arne Slot is not happy about this delay. He's going to have words with the fourth official, just waving his arms around it. You know, why the wait for this? Of course, Tete is back on his feet now, but this has been another lengthy delay, and it's just whether Liverpool can get started again as they came out at the start of the second half. This delay may suit Fulham.
Well, there was a real momentum that Liverpool had built in the opening stages of this second half that has been halted by that lengthy delay, and that's why Arne Slot isn't happy, and he points an accusing finger as St Johnstone have equalised at McDermott Park in the Scottish Premiership. St Johnstone 1, St Mirren 1. Grimsby Town 0, Crewe 1 is the latest score at Blundell Park. We're about to get underway. We certainly won't be lacking for atmosphere for the remainder of this game as Leno hits it downfield and goes long. Jimenez can't get there. Szoboszlai up towards Salah. Salah with a left-footed ball. Two go in search. Diaz and Gakpo. Leno out of his penalty area. Every throw is being celebrated and cheered by the Liverpool supporters. They look to take the throw quickly on this near side, the right.
Yeah, it's a clever little ball in behind the Fulham back line. Well, Tete has come back on the field and now is lying down again. Arne Slot been a pretty laid-back character, hasn't he, since he's arrived at Anfield. He won't be happy with that.
Well, it's not a head injury, so this is where the referee needs to say you need to leave the field of play.
Well, he's just been treated. The physio has had Kenny Tete to talk to off the pitch. They walk down towards the halfway line, but this is one of those they're going to get Castagna on to take his place. So you can say from a Fulham perspective, it's clever play. But Arne Slot's not going to be happy the fact that he came back on. Of course, with their numerical advantage. Tete hobbling off now.
Barnsley are leading at Exeter City in League One. Exeter City 1, Barnsley 2 is the latest score. Newcastle lead Leicester City 3-0. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Wolves 0, Ipswich Town 1. Commentary to come at 5:30 after Sports Report of Nottingham Forest Aston Villa, as Castagna waits to replace Kenny Tete, the Dutch international, at right back, who his only goal actually came here in that 4-3 game last December. Tete is off on this occasion. Castagna's on.
Not a bad replacement, is it, Castagna? No. Tells you a little bit about the strength and depth that Fulham have within their ranks.
Belgian international as Van Dijk hits a long ball. Robinson heads it away in front of Salah. Iwobi keeps the ball in play. The crowd appeal for handball. Arne Slot is actually close to a yellow card. A yellow card today would mean he gets a touchline suspension for their next league game, which would be away at Tottenham on the 22nd. But he is certainly just chipping away at the fourth official, Tim Robinson. Another goal at St James's Park, Mats Faruqi.
And the honeymoon for Ruud van Nistelrooy well and truly over. A fourth goal for Newcastle in this match, second of the afternoon for Jacob Murphy. Leicester falling apart. Newcastle 4, Leicester 0.
Fulham look a little bit bedraggled at the moment. Liverpool, despite being to 10 men, are taking the game to them. They need to try and get a foothold in the game and just slow it down to Fulham at this stage. As Iwobi comes forward, Jimenez has gone ahead of him, has Robinson. Stopped though by Gravenberch. Gravenberch pulled back by Robinson.
And he's on a yellow.
He is on a yellow. Here is Gakpo. The referee played the advantage. Gomez. Might be a good advantage from a Liverpool point of view. Gomez with a shot. Leno makes the save.
Whereas left-footed, not Gomez's strongest foot, 20 yards out. Didn't really get any power on the shot, and comfortable from Leno. But Robinson, maybe slightly fortunate there. I think Szoboszlai did him a favour, got away from him. There was a slight tug, didn't go down. Robinson would have been off.
That point, though, wasn't lost on Arne Slot. He made exactly the point that Chris Sutton had referenced in commentary to the fourth official, and he continues to do so. He's pointing now, not once but twice. Motherwell 3, Dundee United 2 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Peterborough United 4, Crawley Town 3, MK Dons 0, Gillingham 1, and Sheffield Wednesday have just got a third goal at Oxford United in the Championship. Oxford United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 3. It's 1-1 here at Anfield, 11 minutes into the second half, as Castagna forward, Wilson far side, slows it down to Fulham. Back to the halfway line they go. We'll nip to Molineux. Pat Murphy.
1-0 to Ipswich. It could be 2-0 though, because on a breakaway set up by glorious pass by Chapman, Burns' cross kneed wide by Delap. Wolves 0, Ipswich 1.
Jones has just been booked in the dismay of the Anfield crowd by referee Tony Harrington for a challenge on Iwobi, and Arne Slot is getting very, very close, and in fact he has tested the patience of the officials, and Arne Slot has been shown a yellow card that will result in a touchline ban. It's his third yellow card, and the Dutchman will not be on the dugout for the away game at Tottenham on the 22nd. 1-1. Bull, play forward, edge of the area, headed away by Gravenberch. Let's get the team news from our next commentary, Chris Wise at Forest.
One Nottingham Forest change from the win at Manchester United last week. Nicolas Dominguez in for Jota Silva. For Aston Villa, one alteration from that win in Leipzig in the Champions League. Tyrone Mings starts, Pau Torres on the bench, and that means John Duran leads the forward line. Ollie Watkins amongst the Villa substitutes.
Chris is joined by Mark Albrighton. 5:30 commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live. Then it's 6:06 with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage as Robinson stumbles, loses his footing in the penalty area. Jimenez near side the left, takes over. Still Fulham have it, 1-1, chips the ball forward, he'll give chase himself, cleared away though inside his own box by Alexander-Arnold. It's a high one, Diop will head it forward, it drifts out towards this near left hand side. Iwobi tries to get the better of Alexander-Arnold, steps into the challenge. Iwobi though shrugs him off, tries to beat him. Does he keep the ball in play? It's a low ball in, and Van Dijk puts it out of play for a throw.
Yeah, he does brilliantly, Iwobi. Good tussle that against Alexander-Arnold. Got to the byline, got the cross in outside of his right boot, and Van Dijk really well placed in that position, level with the near post on the 6-yard line to get his clearance away.
We'll bring you as much live reaction as we can before that next commentary at the City Ground in Sports Report with Mark Chapman at 5 o'clock. But despite all the drama that we've witnessed here so far, remember, Arsenal 0, Everton 0 is still a scoreline. Arsenal third, 2 points behind Chelsea. Liverpool, who have that 4-point advantage at the top over Maresca's side. Gomez holds off Wilson, plays a ball forward. Cuenca is there, infield towards Berger, shields it away from Jones inside the centre circle, plays it back towards Diop. Liverpool pressing, Fulham forced to go back by Castagna towards Leno, who now chips it out towards this near side. Robinson heads it on towards Iwobi, won't settle for him, as Crewe have got a second goal at Grimsby. Grimsby Town 0, Crewe 2. Ball played by Lukic out towards Castagna for the white shirts of Fulham, playing from right to left as we look in the second half. 1-1, and we've still got half an hour to go.
Yeah, from Fulham's perspective, they want those quick switches of play. Liverpool, that narrow midfield.
Ball forward by Iwobi. Robinson has got space to run into. Robinson now runs unchallenged into the penalty area, and it hits the body of Wilson before he can really shape it, and it runs off his body and out for a goal kick.
Oh, what an opportunity. They play through Liverpool really well, and Robinson on the money once again with the cross. Wilson 8 yards out, level with the near post, doesn't get the correct contact off his left knee and wide of the Alisson goal.
Here is Iwobi. Fulham is certainly coming back into it now after they were rocked back onto their heels at the start of the second half. Pereira, who gave them the lead, links up with Iwobi on this near side. Back now to Lukic, who joins the attack. He goes square. Berger plays it out towards Iwobi. Iwobi comes in field. This is Wilson, back towards Berger. Castagna, midway through the Liverpool half, but back into the centre circle for Diop. Liverpool quite narrow, but still keeping their shape and looking to try and close down Fulham at every opportunity, and as a result they do go back towards Leno, who puts his right foot on the ball on the edge of his own penalty area.
Yeah, but how long can Liverpool last with this intensity? The guts they're playing with this afternoon. Mentioned lack of energy against Girona, not this afternoon.
Here is Iwobi. Robinson again is forward. It's a cross-come shot that had Alisson scampering back towards his goal line. It drifted over the crossbar, as we'll get an update from Bramall Lane with John Bennett.
Sheffield United 1, Plymouth 0. Struggling Plymouth, giving this a real go. Gibson, Bundu and Hardy coming close. Chris Wilder, the United boss, not happy. He's made 3 changes. Sheffield United 1, Plymouth 0.
Looking to go back top of the Championship after Leeds earlier drew 1-1 at Preston. Coventry beat Hull City by 2-1. Bristol City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. In League 1 the results were Bolton 0, Wigan 2. Leyton Orient played out a goalless draw at home with Burton. And in League 2 Salford beat Notts County 3-0 and Tranmere beat Harrogate Town 2-1 at Prenton Park. This is the Premier League live on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. We've been playing for just over an hour, 62 minutes to be precise. It's 1-1. Liverpool down to 10 men with that first half dismissal of Robertson. Robinson for Fulham heads it forward, headed back by Lukic and headed away by Cuenca. Alexander-Arnold couldn't get there. Iwobi is away now. Gravenberch will cover. Alexander-Arnold tries to get back at him. Iwobi with a cross. It's going to be retrieved by Wilson. Unmarked. Liverpool look stretched. The 10 men on that far side. Castagna joins the attack. Right corner of the area. Can't thread it through. Comes out towards Berger. Berger plays it towards Iwobi. Fulham attacking. Left corner of the area. Iwobi, I'm not too sure what that was. He's just passed the ball straight towards Alisson as we go to Shoujo Saka in League 1 at Wrexham.
Wrexham 2, Cambridge 1. Wrexham have turned it around. Ollie Rathbone winning the ball in the final third, taking it to the byline, across, perfect. Stephen Fletcher off the bench and into the net. Wrexham 2, Cambridge 1.
Well, this game could still go either way.
It could have. Just a bit of a lull in terms of the level of intensity from Liverpool, maybe taking a bit of a breather. They couldn't keep that pace up. Fulham have just had 1 or 2 opportunities. Iwobi wasteful. That last one, tame effort, as you quite rightly said.
Salah hits the ball early. Diaz times his run well. Inside right channel the area. Now crosses with the outside of his right boot. Cleared away by Diop. Only as far as Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold to Szoboszlai. The referee's in the way. Salah chips it forward. Headed further away by Diop. Salah goes pressing after Berger. Fulham will need a little bit of composure at the back, and it's played back to Leno, cleared. Gravenberch hits it back up towards Alexander-Arnold. Back heels the ball to Szoboszlai. Gives it back towards the England international. To Liverpool's credit, at times you wouldn't know they're a man down.
No, absolutely. They may argue with this crowd that it's all level, but they're so brave, aren't they?
Gakpo attacks far side the left. Plays it in field, goes away from Diaz, but it was a heavy touch by Lukic, gives it back towards the Colombian. Looked like he was being held. The referee had a good view of that and says no. Jimenez with a counter-attack. It's 3 against 3. Pereira now, right-hand side, tries to cross the ball towards Iwobi. Might have taken the deflection. Iwobi, though, will keep the ball in play on this near side as they attack the Anfield Road end. Lukic joins the attack and hits it, but screws it right-footed. Took a deflection. It'll go behind for a corner kick to Fulham. 1-1, 64 minutes played.
Yeah, you can hear the boos from some of the Liverpool support. Liverpool players frustrated a foul wasn't given on Diaz, and then Fulham break down the other end. Lukic, there was a slight touch. I think the ball was heading wide. Fulham slightly fortunate there. You just sense with this game here, and there's going to be more twists and turns.
I would agree with that. 1-1. Fulham. Corner kick. Far side the right. Out swinger. Iwobi couldn't help it on its way. Liverpool now charged with Szoboszlai. Break on here. 4 against 2 in Liverpool's favour. Szoboszlai to Salah. Salah inside the area. Shoots wide left-footed. What a break that was. With real pace. Couldn't get the target. 1-1 goal kick.
Yeah, Fulham corner, and Liverpool 4 on 2 at one stage, isn't it? And Szoboszlai just drives centrally, feeds the ball out to Salah, angle a bit against him, and he can't hit the target. left-footed, he's got to hit the target, he doesn't. Chance goes a-begging for Liverpool.
Szoboszlai is showing plenty of industry and energy in the Liverpool midfield. There is activity on the Fulham bench. 1-1 it remains. Here on BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service, Arne Slot is in conversation with his coaching staff down below. Rodrigo Muniz is the player who's going to be coming on for Fulham. Where shall we go next then on BBC Radio 5 Live? We're going to go to Shrewsbury, but Berger with a cross. Jimenez was lurking. Gravenberch stepped into defence and did well. So, Shrewsbury, Wycombe, Niall McCorn, League One.
Shrewsbury 0, Wycombe 3. The league leaders have just added a third goal to seal the deal here in Shropshire. Their 16-game unbeaten league run almost certainly going to continue. Top v bottom in the third tier going to form. Shrewsbury 0, Wycombe 3.
Jimenez, who was close to getting on the end of that ball from the right-hand side, 12 goals in his last 21 Premier League starts for Fulham. But he is the player who is going to be coming off. Rodrigo Muniz is going to be coming on, the young Brazilian. And also Emil Smith-Rowe is going to be coming on, and it's going to be the goal scorer Pereira who is going to be going off as Iwobi. Central position, chips the ball forward. This is Wilson. Got in the way there of Jimenez, of his own player. Lukic with an effort, that was blocked. Lukic comes to him, finds Iwobi outside the D and can't keep it down, as Gakpo has just pushed away at Lukic, and the referee has to get in between him and Berger, who's also keen to have a word with the Dutchman.
Yeah,
bit of edge.
Yeah, there is. It's been like it all afternoon. Hasn't a bit of edge, a bit in the needle. I think Liverpool felt the ball should have been put out, but Fulham don't have to put the ball out. Curtis Jones has gone down injured, I think it is. From a shot on the edge of the box from Lukic again. He's had a couple of efforts, but Fulham didn't have to put the ball out. It's a good attacking position. It will be eventually high and wide with the effort. Jones back to his feet, and here come the Fulham subs.
So Jimenez is off, Rodrigo Muniz is on, Smith-Rowe to come on for Pereira, and we're midway through the second half on BBC Radio 5 Live. Tomorrow our commentary is Brighton Crystal Palace at 2, Manchester City Manchester United is at 4:30, and Nunez is going to be coming on for Cody Gakpo. We'll get an update from Arsenal. This is the other story this afternoon in the Premier League. John Southall.
Arsenal being urged on by their fans. 73 minutes played, but Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Saka with the best chance in the second half. On the right there was Pickford saving with his foot. They've taken off Ødegaard, they've taken off Rice. They're pushing for the winner. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Cheltenham Town 2, Morecambe 0 is the latest score in League 2. Liverpool are going to also bring on Jarrell Quansah. Shrewsbury have got a goal back at home to Wycombe. Shrewsbury 1, Wycombe Wanderers 3, the leaders. Wrexham are ahead, Birmingham are ahead. It'll be a case of as you were as it stands at the top of League One. Here is Alisson, play back underway. Liverpool all in red, playing from left to right as we look. We have just over 20 minutes remaining. Liverpool preparing to make a double change, 1-1. But remember, they'll be playing, by the time the final whistle comes, with 70 minutes, with 10 men after that Robertson sending off. Motherwell 4, Dundee United 2 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. And down at the bottom there's been a goal at Molineux. Pat Murphy.
The equaliser for Wolves. Magnificent strike from a narrow angle by Matheus Cunha with his favoured left foot. Superb effort on the break. It's Wolves 1, Ipswich 1.
And let's get news of that Shrewsbury goal from Niall McCorn.
A low angled free kick from Jordan Shipley has made this game interesting, but all things considered, it's probably too little too late for Shrewsbury, even with quarter of an hour remaining to play. Shrewsbury 1, Wycombe 3.
So Quansah is coming on for Curtis Jones, and Nunez is coming on for Cody Gakpo, who's getting a standing ovation. It could still be a precious goal as Liverpool look to extend their undefeated run to 19 games since they were beaten by Nottingham Forest here in mid-September. Stoke City 1, Cardiff City 2 is the latest score in the Championship. And you're up to date. But there's been a sending off at Ewood Park. Mike Minay.
Yeah, afternoon goes from bad to worse for Luton Town. 2-0 down. Now they're down to 10 men as well. Liam Walsh has only been on the pitch 10 minutes as a substitute. Didn't last long. Late tackle on Yuki Ohashi. And Luton are reduced down to 10 men. Blackburn Rovers still leading by 2-0.
Gravenberch picks it up midway through his own half. Runs forward. We're just looking at how they've adjusted things in the midfield. Diaz now on the left-hand side, crosses, Salah controls it, Salah still going for it, and left-footed tumbles as he hits it wide, and it goes out into the Kop for a goal kick. We'll get news now of a goal at Swansea. Molly Stevens.
What a goal! It's the Sunderland captain, Dan Neil. Swansea 2, Sunderland 2. You had a feeling that this wasn't over, and it was as tight as can be. Dan Neil giving Sunderland that boost. Swansea 2, Sunderland 2.
So fighting back from 2-0 down. So Quansah has gone in alongside Van Dijk.
Yeah. Where Gravenberch had dropped into centre-back. Gravenberch has gone into his normal position in the middle of the park, centre midfield. And then Núñez playing centrally with Diaz off that left-hand side.
Here is Iwobi, 10 yards inside his own half, out towards Smith Rowe, controls it 6 yards inside the Liverpool half on the Fulham right. Early ball goes straight through to Alisson. Another goal at Shrewsbury. Niall McCorn.
Shrewsbury 1, Wycombe 4. Dan Udoh, who spent 5 years at Shrewsbury, has just thrashed in against his old club. Any Shrewsbury hope now completely extinguished in League One. Shrewsbury 1, Wycombe 4.
Chesterfield have got a second at Brunton Park. So Carlisle United 0, Chesterfield 2 is the latest score in League 2. We've still got 18 minutes remaining of normal time here at Anfield. 1-1. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Newcastle United 4, Leicester City 0, Wolves 1, Ipswich 1 between the bottom two. Match of the day tonight, 10:30, BBC 1. You can have your say on 606 with Chris and Robbie. 08085909693 as Alexander-Arnold drives the ball along the ground towards Salah, tidied up by Robinson towards Leno.
He's one of the fullbacks who's quick enough to get back.
Fulham looking to play out from the back. Berger finds Smith Rowe. He comes under pressure from Szoboszlai. Holds on to the ball. Out towards Castagna. He clears it up towards Muniz. Looking to try and turn. Plays it, looked like an offside there against Wilson. Flag had stayed down.
Gomez got back brilliantly anyway. Tremendous centre forward play from Jimenez.
Referee says he got the ball as Smith Rowe lunged into the challenge against Gravenberch to Núñez. Núñez enters the penalty area. The ball won't go with him. He's slowed down. They've doubled up on him. Left-hand side of the penalty area to Luis Diaz, just in from the left touchline. Back then towards Gomez, midway through the Fulham half. Alexander-Arnold wanders into a central area. Reading 0, Blackpool 3. That'll be the end of Reading's 5-match unbeaten run in League One. As the ball out now towards Salah. Holds off Robinson, able to face the way that Liverpool playing, which is left to right as they attack the Kop. And then Alexander-Arnold in a central area, just rolls it towards Gravenberch. Fulham have dropped off, every white shirt back behind the ball. Van Dijk now comes forward for the league leaders. Gravenberch out towards the left, Gomez wants it, they will get a throw down by the corner flag far side. Another goal at Swansea. Molly Stevens.
Well, after Dan Neil's top bins goal, Job Bellingham gives Sunderland the lead for the first time from close range off his right foot. Swansea once again losing their lead in another game. Swansea 2, Sunderland 3.
Thank you, Molly. Sports report on its way this Saturday afternoon on 5 Live. Liverpool 1-1, equalising in the second half. They've 24 goals, 21 of them now have come in second half of recent games. Here is Salah. Salah's cross blocked by Robinson. Balloons away, taken on the chest by Alexander-Arnold midway through the Fulham half. At a walking pace, Fulham have got everyone back behind the ball. Quansah comes under pressure from Lukic, goes back towards Alisson. Let's get an update from Molyneux. Pat Murphy.
Still 1-1 here, but Wolves now getting more and more dangerous. They're getting a lot of purchase down the left wing. Just now Burgess, a great tackle to defy Larson. It's all Wolves pouring forward now. It's 1-1.
Here is Alisson on the edge of his area. Goes square. Gomez on that far side. Back to the Brazilian. Hits the ball forward. Szoboszlai does just enough to get it towards Alexander-Arnold, who's playing as a central midfielder at the moment. His forward ball finds Núñez. Núñez drives forward to the edge of the area, and then he's held up by Berger. Rolls it out towards that far side. Alexander-Arnold curls it in, and Robertson had to be careful. He knew where Salah was. Lets it run through for a goal kick.
Yeah,
Chris Sutton.
Super aware. Robinson at the far post. Alexander-Arnold left hand side of the box on his right foot, trying to pick out Mo Salah at the far post, and Robinson shepherds the ball behind, very, very watchful. It's incredible, isn't it? Fulham have that advantage, numerical advantage, yet Liverpool so brave in the way that they play. They realise the importance of these 3 points if they can get over the line today, but Fulham are a danger when they do counter.
And they're attacking now as the ball is played out to Iwobi. He's got space to run into. Looks for the run of Robinson ahead of him. Robinson gets there, cuts it back, going goalwards, and it's flicked in. Rodrigo Munoz, the substitute. Fulham are back in front, and with 14 minutes remaining, the league leaders are in danger of faltering against Fulham. Liverpool 1, Fulham 2.
And there's that combination on the left-hand side, Iwobi and Robinson. Robinson rampaging forward. There's an underlap, and he always picks his man out, and Muniz gets across the near post, and it's a brilliant finish. Innovative finish from Muniz, flicks it into the net, and Fulham, they've carried that threat, that danger, all afternoon. Quick switch of play, out left, and Robinson just steams forward. The pass is perfect from Iwobi, and then the pull back, and Muniz with the finish. Robinson stays on his feet brilliantly, and it's slightly scruffy in the end. I said Muniz showed great innovation. I wonder whether it comes off Gomez finally, Ian, into the back of the net. Marco Silva's not going to care. Fulham back in front.
It's only his second goal of the season, but with 14 minutes remaining, and Adama Traore is going to be coming on as well for Harry Wilson. Let's get an update from Arsenal. John Southall.
Arsenal 0, Everton 0. The fans know what's happening with you, Ian. They're urging Arsenal forward, but they're just not creating enough. They've got themselves around about 6-7 minutes to try and win this game. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Well, Fulham before today, 23 points from their first 15 games, only bettered at this stage of a campaign when Chris Coleman was the manager some 21 years ago, and they finished 9th. But they really are progressing ever so well under Marco Silva, looking to challenge for Europe. And the 47-year-old Portuguese coach is now looking at a potential first ever success at Anfield. Time running out for Liverpool. Fulham leading by 2-1, and Liverpool are going to be making a change. Jota is going to be coming on, and we are also going to be seeing for Liverpool Harvey Elliott. So attacking changes being made. Szoboszlai comes off, Harvey Elliott is on for him, and Alexander-Arnold is also coming off as Jota makes his reappearance after a lengthy chest injury. Arne Slot going for it. Fulham lead by 2-1. Hibs bottom of the Scottish Premiership. Might not no longer be the case. They now lead Ross County by 2-1. And Liverpool have about 12 minutes plus added on time to try and salvage something. That Hibs would leap to 8th, and Hearts would drop to the bottom of the table as it currently stands. No other goals elsewhere around the country to tell you about. Traore, I don't think has come back onto the he hasn't come on yet. That substitution hasn't happened as yet, has it? Wilson is still out there.
That's all you need if you're a Liverpool defender. Adama Traore coming on with his pace.
Looks like they might have shelved plans for that on the Fulham bench. They lead 2-1. Elliott touches the ball forward. Jota right hand side, works over the cross, headed away by Berger inside the penalty area. Quantz's touch was a heavy one, straight towards Munoz, goes down and gets a free kick. Tell you what we'll do, we'll give you the latest scores in the Scottish Premiership. I've got a feeling it's going to get quite hectic in the next 10 minutes. So Hibs 2, Ross County 1, Motherwell 4, Dundee United 2, St Johnstone 1, St Mirren 1. The two results in League 2. Salford 3, Notts County 0, Tranmere beat Harrogate Town by 2-1. These are the latest scores. Wimbledon lead Doncaster Rovers by 1-0. Their 9-match unbeaten run could be ending. Bradford City could be getting their first win in 7. They lead Swindon by 1-0. Bromley 0, Port Vale 0. Carlisle 0, Chesterfield 2. Cheltenham lead Morecambe by 2-0. Colchester 0, Newport County 0. MK Dons nil, Gillingham 1, Grimsby nil, Crewe 2, and Walsall, the leaders, are leading Barrow by a goal to nil. We'll give you the latest scores in League One and the Championship very, very soon.
Just seeing that Fulham second goal again, I don't think the ball's going in off Muniz. I think Smith Rowe would have tapped it in at the far post, but that'll go down as an own goal for Joe Gomez.
Here is Salah, keeps the ball in play. Elliott is behind him on this near side, the right, just in from the touchline in front of the main stand as they attack the Kop, playing from left to right. St Johnstone 2, St Mirren 1 now is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Liverpool 2-1 down. Here is Diaz, cuts inside, forces Quansah a little wide, right corner of the area, delivers the cross, headed away by Cuenca in the midfield. Muniz goes down under the challenge. Elliott chips it forward. Jota tried the back header, appeals for a penalty. Here is Salah looking for an equaliser, bobbling around inside the penalty area. Now they're appealing for handball. Elliott kills it just wide against his former club. That must have been so close for a Liverpool equaliser. Fulham still lead 2-1, 8 minutes remain.
Jota having words with the referee, asking for a possible penalty for Liverpool. Mo Salah smothered, couldn't quite get his shot off. Robinson puts him under pressure, then Berger. Then the ball's hacked to Elliott, right-hand side of the box. Little jink onto his left foot, blimey. He is inches away from that far post. He's got a wonderful left foot. Bends the ball. Leno's getting nowhere near it. That's not far away.
The two results in League One, Bolton 0, Wigan 2, Leyton Orient 0, Burton 0. Fulham lose the ball. Berger pulls Nunez to the ground. They take a quick free kick, but the referee wants to take action because Berger's going to be shown a yellow card. Quickly, the latest scores in League One. Birmingham 2, Bristol Rovers 0, Charlton 0, Mansfield 0, Exeter 1, Barnsley 2, Huddersfield 1, Lincoln 2, Peterborough United 4, Crawley Town 3, Reading 0, Blackpool 3, Rotherham 3, Northampton 0, Shrewsbury 1, the leaders Wycombe 4, Stevenage 2, Stockport County 1, and Wrexham lead Cambridge United by 2-1. So, free kick, which Liverpool are going to take. Just over 25 yards out, we've got 7 minutes remaining of normal time. Fulham still lead, 2-1. Everybody back in a white shirt inside the penalty area for Fulham. It's curled in now. Headed goalwards by Nunez. Headed wide, goal kick. Gives me a chance to give you the Championship scores. These are the results. Bristol City 1, QPR 1, Coventry 2, Hull City 1, Preston 1, Leeds United 1. Leeds United went top. However, we'll get to Bramall Lane in a moment. Blackburn 2, Luton Town 0, Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0, Oxford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 3, Stoke City 1, Cardiff 2, Swansea 2, Sunderland 3. Sunderland coming back from 2-0 down. And I've left out John Bennett at Bramall Lane because you've seen another goal.
Sheffield United going 3 points clear at the top of the Championship. 2-0 up against Plymouth now. Kiefer Moore with a penalty after Davis was brought down. It's not been a great performance, but it's Sheffield United 2, Plymouth 0.
Wolves 1, Ipswich 1, Newcastle 4, Leicester City 0, Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Ball play forward to Jota. Cuenca comes across and gets their well-timed challenge inside his penalty area. Liverpool have a throw.
Yeah, what a challenge from Cuenca. Read the play beautifully. It looked like Jota was in at one stage, one-on-one against Leno. Cuenca from nowhere drifted across and made the interception.
That substitution that's been pending for some time is about to happen. Traore coming on for Wilson. We have 6 minutes remaining of normal time. Elliott on this near side, the right. Fulham leading by 2-1. We're 14 minutes away from Sports Report on BBC Radio 5 Live. Van Dijk, who's only suffered 3 home defeats in the Premier League in 107 appearances before today. Salah links up with Elliott, back towards Salah, right-hand side. Salah's low ball gathered in by Leno, who's just had a great chance at Molineux, Pat Murphy.
Well, Wolves have had 3 great chances in the last 5 minutes. It's all Wolves. Larson stretching just wide. Cunha, shot block, rebound over, then Doyle, edge of the box, soft effort straight at the keeper. Ipswich hanging on. Wolves 1, Ipswich 1.
Chelsea, remember, 4 points behind Liverpool at the top. By the time they've got that game in hand, of course, to Liverpool after the Merseyside derby was postponed last week. But who would have thought that Chelsea emerging as the title challengers? As here is Jota, nice turn, nice finish. Diogo Jota off the bench, back from injury and back with a bang with a real impact. Liverpool down to 10 men, equalised for the second time this afternoon, 2-2.
They just don't stop Liverpool. They go behind, they don't feel sorry for themselves. It's brilliant link up from the two subs, Núñez and Jota. Núñez into Jota. Jota shapes to hit the ball with his left foot. He doesn't, he drags it on the inside. And then the finish. Cuenca's barely put a foot wrong, but he buys the dummy. And Jota gets his head up, he's 18 yards out. Whips the ball past Leno, does him with the eyes. What an end to the game we've got here. Arne Slot goes berserk in his technical area. Liverpool level again.
He's missed the last 11 games through injury, and when he scores in the Premier League, Liverpool are yet to be beaten. Previously 35 games undefeated, they've won 30 and drawn 5. There's been another goal, it's in one of our featured games in League One. Shojo Saka.
It's Wrexham 2, Cambridge 2. Cambridge out of nowhere, completely against the run of play, getting a penalty. Lewis Brunt with the mistake, and Dan and Lundalu on loan from Bolton stepping up to slot home. Wrexham 2, Cambridge 2.
That change has happened for Fulham, incidentally. Traore has come on for Wilson.
Needless corner given away for Fulham.
It's Quansah's header, wasn't it?
Just one long diagonal ball, and Quansah all the time in the world to nod the ball back to Alisson. Too fine a header, and now Fulham, can they work something from a set piece?
Last December these two sides shared 7 goals. Liverpool won 4-3. It's been another dramatic afternoon, 2-2. Fulham have a corner kick, they go towards the far post, it kills all the way out and out for a goal kick. And the Liverpool crowd do not want the 10 men to settle for a point.
Well, they're not going to settle, but now Traore's on. Fulham have got the Roadrunner on, and he is super quick for those counter-attacks.
By my watch, we have 3 minutes remaining. Fulham fans will not need reminding of the 2 late goals that Endo and Alexander-Arnold scored as Liverpool turned it around last December. Sliding in was Núñez. That's going to be a yellow card. He's just gone and caught Lukic. It was a late lunge, and the substitute is shown yellow.
Yeah, that's a bad one from Darwin Núñez. Off his feet, catches Lukic. The ball's, he gets a slight touch on the ball, but it's to follow through as well.
By my reckoning, we've had 8 yellow cards if you include that of Arne Slot. St Mirren have got a late equaliser at McDermott Park. St Johnstone 2, St Mirren 2. Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, commentary to come at 5:30 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. We've got 2 minutes remaining as the army of stewards in their luminous orange jackets start to make their way in front of the Kop. But our eyes go to the other end of the field where the ball is shielded safely behind for a Liverpool goal kick by Joe Gomez.
Yes, there's going to be another chance in this game. Who's going to get it? Who's going to take it?
Elliott plays it forward. Robinson only momentarily holds off Salah. Robinson though back at him. He goes down inside his own penalty area. The bodies were running into each other there, getting very congested. Robinson stays down. Fulham will get a free kick deep inside their own half. The Liverpool crowd, I sense, are feeling that Robinson's milking this and a bit of time wasting. Motherwell 4, Dundee United 3 is now a latest score as Dundee United have got a goal back at Fir Park.
Yeah, I think there's a follow through from Jota. He accidentally catches Robinson on the back of the head. It's a sore one. I think he's entitled to stay down, back on his feet.
The 2 sides in the Premier League who've dropped the most points from winning positions this season are Ipswich and Fulham. Ipswich had a lead, pegged back at Molineux 1-1. Fulham twice have been in front here at Anfield. Liverpool though now level at 2-2. As we enter the last 30 seconds of normal time, we'll see how much added on time there will be as the ball is headed away by Berger. Núñez tries to flick it forward. Jota heads it on, headed back by Núñez. Now towards Jota, holds off the challenge of Lukic. He's away from Lukic. It's a teasing ball towards the far post, and Leno at full stretch pulls it behind for a corner kick to Liverpool.
How sharp does Jota look? Been out for a while now, hasn't he? Quick feet on the right hand side across to the far post, and Leno wondered whether he was going to get there. Is that 9 minutes I saw?
9 minutes of added on time. Sports Report might just be running a fraction late. 9 minutes that we're now into here on 5 Live. 2-2. And Liverpool in those 9 minutes will fancy a winner. Fulham haven't been able to use that extra man so far to full effect. In comes the corner on the left-hand side. Comes towards Salah. Salah blocks it. And that strikes Iwobi in the unmentionables, and I'm not surprised he's going down. I think that's fair to say that is not time wasting as we go to Pat Murphy at Molineux. Hello, Pat.
He got it. Winner, Ipswich.
Pat, you're on. Tell us who scored. Hello, Pat.
Jack Taylor has headed the second goal for Ipswich at the far post from a corner. Wolves cannot believe it. They've dominated the last 20 minutes, but that was a superb header from the substitute Taylor. Wolves 1, Ipswich 2.
The goals as they go in on 5 Live. That will be Ipswich Town ending their run of 4 without a win. A 4th straight defeat for Wolves, it would seem. Newcastle United have beaten Leicester City 4-0. Wrexham 2, Cambridge 2. It's a full-time score as well in League One. And Iwobi is still on his knees.
Yeah, I mean, it's being moaned about. The Liverpool fans unhappy with him, but that has caught him in a really sore region. If this was a tennis commentary, what would we say? New balls, please.
His eyes are watering. Elliott with a curling ball in. Play back underway. Falls to Salah. Excellent challenge by Cuenca. Just got there inside the penalty area. Sheffield United have beaten Plymouth 2-0. Back top of the Championship. Liverpool thought they'd got a throw. Instead, the assistant referee has said it's a Fulham throw. And Darren Cann actually has been... Tony Harrington has taken and has overridden his assistant and has said, no, it is a Liverpool throw. Ben Gibson, who earlier scored an own goal for Cardiff City, has got an injury time equaliser. Stoke City 2, Cardiff 2 in the Championship. It has finished Wolves 1, Ipswich Town 2.
Van Dijk stayed forward. That's Liverpool's desperation for the 3 points.
We have still got 6 minutes of added on time remaining. Arsenal still being held by Everton 0-0. Jota tries to wriggle free. Jota, does he get there? He's away from Cuenca, pulls it back. Van Dijk blocked. Nunez. Jota is there. He tees up Diaz. Diaz steadies himself. Blocked again. What a scramble. Liverpool over the top of the crossbar. Took a deflection. Oh my word. They had about 3 efforts, they couldn't find it. Resilience defending by the Fulham back four.
I can't believe Liverpool didn't score. Jota brilliant on the left-hand side, finds Van Dijk, his shot is blocked. What was Van Dijk doing? Staying up, Diaz can't quite work an opening. And then Jota again, and the ball gets a shot off Lukic. The deflection over the bar.
Corner kick then in front of the Kop. Elliott to take it. Left-footed, Leno catches it, bounces onto it and dives forward. There was a break on there for the 11 men of Fulham, but they had no ambition whatsoever there. There was 3 against 3, 2 players went down inside their own penalty area and Leno just dived on the ball and stayed smothering it.
Yeah, it tells you everything. The Fulham players, they want to get away from Anfield with a point, even though they have the advantage.
And Marco Silva was bellowing at his team and shouting at him to get up as well. Walsall have beaten Barrow by 1-0. So the League Two leaders now unbeaten in 10. Mark Chapman in Sports Report will bring you as much live reaction as we can. We'll sum it all up and then get to the City Ground for 5:30, Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. We're 4 minutes away from Sports Report and we still have 4.5 minutes remaining here at Anfield. Ball forward by Jota. Diop passes the ball back towards Leno. Nunez hairs after him. Leno has to clear long. Clatters the ball away downfield. Headed forward by Gomez. Van Dijk tries to get there as well. On the halfway line, Gravenberch's header. Picked up by Gravenberch. Liverpool finishing strongly. Nunez plays it towards Elliott. Onto the chest he goes. Just outside the penalty area. Fulham are hanging on. The 10 men of Liverpool taking the game to Fulham. No other latest scores to tell you about. All of a sudden now it opens up for a Fulham counter-attack. Robinson. Iwobi on the overlap on the near side, the left. 3 wait in the middle. Iwobi level with the penalty area. Strokes it. Smith Rowe takes it onto his right foot. Traore inside the penalty area. Traore, blocked by Alisson, excellent save. Ball inside the penalty area, Gravenberch will clear. End-to-end stuff.
Oh, what a save from Alisson. Great little manoeuvre from Traore, went for power. Big save from Alisson at his near post.
Salah plays it forward to Robinson, goes to ground, looks for a free kick. Tony Harrington says no. Instead it will be a goal kick, and by my watch we have 3 minutes remaining of added on time. Nobody's leaving Anfield early.
Absolutely not. That's been an epic battle, hasn't it? Salah and Robinson. What a clash that's been. Marco Silva, he thought possibly Fulham had won it. Traore on that right-hand side of the box, little shift, and he puts his laces through the ball. Alisson with his right knee makes the save, and Liverpool scramble the ball to safety.
Both sides could have won it in the last 2 or 3 minutes, but it's 2-2 here on 5 Live. The first of 4 commentaries. Liverpool get a throw midway through their own half. They're attacking the Kop as they play from left to right. Gravenberch waits, goes to Quansah. Gravenberch now will chip it out towards that far side where Jota. And all of a sudden Anfield falls silence. Everybody's getting their breath back inside this stadium for what has been a dramatic and entertaining contest. Van Dijk now with a diagonal ball in the air. It sears its way out towards Elliott on this near side, the right, back towards Quansah. Quansah runs in field midway through the Fulham half, being tracked by Iwobi. Referee has to sidestep out of the way. Van Dijk back towards Quansah. Not sure the referee, despite his actions, actually helped Liverpool in that sense, as Alisson is forward in the centre circle and chips it long out towards the left. Downward header by Diaz, falls towards Berger. Traore tried to roll away from Gomez, but Gomez was too strong for him. Here is Van Dijk. Diagonal ball along the ground. Gravenberch forward. Jota with his back to goal. Back towards Gravenberch. Elliott unmarked. Right corner of the area. Onto his left boot. Chips it into the penalty area. Berger heads it away.
Couldn't get enough elevation. Diaz at the far post.
Here is Quansah. Unmarked. Right hand side. Quansah with a cross. You have to say the 10 men of Liverpool, since Robertson was dismissed, have been quite magnificent. And they've got a corner kick as they go in search of a winner with 70 seconds remaining.
Can Harvey Elliott deliver? And can one of the Liverpool players make themselves the hero? Van Dijk in there, Darwin Núñez in there, Quansah has gone forward, all loitering around that far post area.
Elliott waits to take the corner kick. Left-footed, doesn't beat the first man. The groan will tell you that from the Kop. It was a collective groan. As Gravenberch out to Elliott. Can the better delivery second time around? It's dropping. Leno's come, punches the ball away. Jota tries to get it on the edge of the area. Salah gets there. They're appealing for handball, but the referee has blown his whistle and given it against Mo Salah. It will be a Fulham free kick inside their penalty area. 30 seconds remain. Chris Sutton, how would you sum up this game?
Oh, an incredible game. It was a handball from Salah under pressure from Robinson. It's ebbed and flowed, but Liverpool, 10 men, so gutsy in their approach when they went a goal down, a man down, played with great intensity.
It's finished at Arsenal 0-0 against Everton. Hibs 3, Ross County 1, St Johnstone 2, St Mirren 3. It'll be a quick out here. Don't go anywhere. Sports report on this dramatic afternoon coming up. As much live reaction before we go to the City Ground at 5:30. But we're a minute past 5 here on 5 Live, and we're still playing. And by my watch, the 9 minutes of added on time are up and over. As Liverpool and maybe have one last chance, they get a throw midway through the Fulham half. At 2-2, it's now or never. Elliott towards Jota, tries to play it forward, stopped by Iwobi. There is the full-time whistle. Liverpool 2, Fulham 2. You'll hear all about it in Sports Report. What a game. It's finished. Liverpool 2, Fulham 2.